See, guys, I told you we're here. We are. Praise God, Trey made it. We was eating.
I'm still technically eating, but of course I have to turn my camera on and say cheers, everybody, because it's Friday.
Exactly. Exactly. We was both eating, so that's why we was late. But we were here. We didn't we didn't forget you guys. Exactly. Let's see. It looked like everybody talking about some stuff. Hold on. I didn't even y'all done had a whole conversation without me.
Well, they said if we don't start the show, they were going to start the show for us.
Oh, I see. um oh, it looks like they already got that topic. They got that whole Dawn of DCU.
Mm-hmm.
What do I think about the Dawn of DCU? Have you seen the Dawn of DCU, Dylan?
I have not.
Okay, let me pull up so you can see the dawn of the DCU, because that's what we want. Like, yay for let me see if they got, let me get, because I want to get the information down, make sure I get it. Okay, all right, cool. So let me pull this up so you can see it on the screen, so everybody can see what's going on with this nonsense of the dawn of DCU. Woohoo! There go my phone again. Every time. Give me hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Got a whole bunch of notifications right now. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see the DC Universe Lazarus Planet event, and then our next event is Night Terror or something. Forging the future one hero at a time. Look, we're getting Man, and then we're getting Doom Patrol, and then we're getting Green Lantern, and then we're getting Green Arrow, and then we're getting a Batman, then we're getting Shazam, then we're getting either Hawkman and Hawkgirl or both. I don't judge. Yeah. DC Comics kicks off its year-long publishing initiative with epic stories and superstar creative team that forge the future one hero at a time. Epic storylines and superstar creative team for. Okay, wait, hold on. Did you just repeat the same thing, DC? I'm gonna hit y'all. Okay, anyway, featuring over 20 new titles starring Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, The Duo, Superboy, Shazam, and more. Yay! Oh,
Okay.
so that means Action Comics 1051 is going to be the start of the dawn of the DCU, and they're bringing back the real Superman. Great, because nobody wanted LGBT Superman anyway. I don't know. I don't know why I got to keep telling people this shit don't work, but they don't like to listen. They don't like to listen, Dylan. Okay, it says all year long, D celebrating the classic characters while it also embracing the new generation of new heroes. DC, no, stop it. Just embrace your classic characters, because we don't need any more new superheroes at all. Because you know why? Because you had a team of new superheroes, but you had an event of new superheroes. The new Age of Heroes, where they at? Where they at, Dylan? Yeah, that's why I thought crickets. They ain't nowhere. Where where they at? Y'all couldn't even keep with them characters up. And now you're gonna try to make some. No, this is so stupid. Let's see what all they talking about. The dawn of DCU will shine the spotlight on a number of fan favorite superheroes, supervillains that haven't been front and center for some time. Yeah, because you don't want to admit the New 52 was wrong, and instead of going back to pre-New 52, DC comic books, 30 years of history that was already intact. You said, nah, we're gonna keep rebooting the universe because we don't want to admit that we were wrong. Yay! After the near multiverse ending events in Dark Crisis that nobody reading, nobody cares. DC Universe Lazarus Planet, which out yet, the DC Universe will be heading towards the light. I could have sworn that's what DC Rebirth was supposed to be, and then all y'all egos got involved and you fucked that over. and now you think I'm supposed to give y'all a chance again. But okay, sure, fine, whatever. With brand new series and story arcs from some of our top creative members in comic books. We'll see. We'll see who those creatives are, Dylan. And I doubt they're superstar creative teams. But okay. With bold new direction, some of DC's biggest characters, such as Superman, Batman, Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy. Whoa, hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on. There should never be a sentence where Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy is before Wonder Woman. This should say Batman, Superman, Nightwing, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. Y'all don't lost y'all rabbit ass minds. That no, this is not that important. I'm trying like stop believing these social media hoes. I'm telling you, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy are not as popular as you think they are.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Y'all keep thinking because people cosplay as them or you get some little fan art of them. No. There's a difference between fan art and actual support for the material, because not people like the people who claim that the Harley Quinn show is so good. It might be so good, but a lot of people don't watch it. Yeah, it got renewed for another season, sure. But again, just because a show got renewed doesn't mean that they're bringing in a new audience. They could be losing the new audience. Just saying, y'all didn't think about that. Let's see, over 20 new comic titles will be launching throughout 2023 as part of the new dawn of DC. Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Shazam, Doom Patrol, Green Arrow, Cyborg, and the Penguin. Why Cyborg and the Penguin? DC, I done told you, Cyborg is a side piece. He's a side bitch. We don't need a comic book for every side bitch. All right, that's a side hoe. Keep his ass in the sides. I'm just being honest. And the Penguin. Why? Because Colin Farrell is getting a show on HBO Max, that doesn't mean that we need to have a Penguin comic book. Who cares about the Penguin? I mean, I like the Penguin as a villain, but I don't like him enough where he needs to have a solo run. I'm just being honest. Let's see what all they saying. So, Action 1051 Dawn of DC features a new era of Man of Steel. It starts with the format changes. 3 new stories. Philip Kennedy Johnson, Dan Jurgens, and Leo Williams. Oh shit. In Superman #1, February, the writer Joshua Williams and artist Jamel Clark Kent is settling back on life, into his life on Earth. While iconic new enemies erupt from the shadows to take him on, John Kent will also be forging his own path and will take on the man that was responsible for his kidnap and torture. Well, technically, Ultraman didn't kidnap you. You know, who cares? If y'all don't care about continuity, why should I? In the Adventures of Superman, John Kent. And that one's going to be by Tom Taylor and Clay Henry. So Dylan, do you care about like what they call it, an anthology series? Like, how do you feel about anthology series in comic books? I know Wes said he doesn't like them. How do you feel about them?
I don't really like mind them. I'm not gonna say that they're ever my favorite. I think they kind of serve that purpose. Like if you just kind of like want some like just some stories to read, and you don't have to worry about like if it's connected to anything greater. I think they can be really good for that purpose. But not really much beyond that. You know, you can't really do much more with them than that.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried that Action Comics is going that route, because remember, that's what that Batman Urban Knights book was. And people was like, we don't care about the anthologies. They read like one story and then that was it from the book. And that's what I'm worried about. Like people only picking up the book because of that one story, but then nobody cares about the side stories, the other 2 stories that are in there. But you're charging us extra for the other 2 stories that we didn't actually put in there. Just like Brian Michael Bendis did that Justice League run where he added that Justice League Dark anthology onto the back of it, and we're paying extra for those backstories that nobody asked for in the comic books, and that's what I'm worried that the story might be the stories might become for Action Comics. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but we'll see, right?
True.
Um. Oh, look. So spinning out of the Lazarus pit is the Unstoppable Doom Patrol #1. So the world's strangest superheroes are saving the world, saving its monsters. It's the team's first main series line in over a decade. The Doom Patrol returns in Unstoppable Doom Patrol by Dennis Clarver and Chris Bahan, available in March. Now I like the Doom Patrol because I like the TV show, but it's been so long since I read Doom Patrol. I might need to brush up on my Doom Patrol book reading so I can be familiar with how they are in the comic books, because like they said, they haven't been around in 10 years. So I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about them. So I don't know. Well, how about you, Dylan? Have you read Doom Patrol? Are you like familiar with them?
I mean, well, I know that they had that Young Animal series that came about. I didn't read that one.
That was weird. That was a weird book. That was weird.
Yeah. I didn't get around to reading that one. I think I have some of the issues here. I just haven't actually read them. Other than that, yeah, other than like, the Grant Morrison stuff, it's been a while. The show is good though. So I'm assuming that's probably why they're actually going to be giving it a series, but I guess we'll see how it turns out. That art right there doesn't look terrible or anything. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
we might have something there. It just kind of depends. I get the feeling they're having this particular writer write these characters because Justice League Incarnate was kind of dealing with, multi-dimensional type stuff, and they were hoping for that kind of
yeah.
weird vibe to the story. So I don't
And
know.
plus,
It could work. It depends on the execution.
yeah, and everybody do like the Doom Patrol show, which it
Yeah.
is probably the best DC show that we've had on the streaming service for a while.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking maybe the popularity of the Doom Patrol show is probably another reason why we're getting it. I mean, even though another thing is I was surprised to see the Doom Patrol in Superman Batman World's Finest, which I thought that was a good unique take on the team as well. So if they can
Yeah,
keep
that was a
momentum
surprise.
like that. Say that again, Dylan.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me too that they actually put, that team in there.
Yeah, I was like, oh well, Doom Patrol. Hello, I wasn't expecting to see you here, but I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not mad about it. I
exactly.
think Mark Waid got a good handle on the DC universe, honestly.
Mhm.
So if we can keep the momentum of how he's written the Doom Patrol in those two couple of issues of World's Finest, and then take what they learned from the Doom Patrol TV show and bring it into this comic book, I think the comic book could really be good. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Because I haven't read, like I said, I haven't read Doom Patrol since the Grant Morrison run, but it's been so long I don't even remember much of the story line. But like I said, hopefully with the show and what Mark Waid laid the foundation for, that'll be something. But we'll see. And here we go, Superboy, Man of Tomorrow. Clark and John won't be the only Kent family members with their own series. The 2022 DC Robin winning Superboy, Man of Tomorrow by Kenny Porter of Flash, the Fastest Man Alive, and Johan Lindsay, DC Power Celebration will launch in April. Determined to find his place in the strange universe, Connor Kent Superboy leaves Earth behind, but his journey of self-discovery brings him face to face with a group of freedom fighters who challenge not just everything Connor stands for, but to bear the Superman crest. So how we feeling about that one, Dylan? How you feeling about Superboy, Man of Tomorrow?
It wasn't the story that I voted for, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I read the last one that won the round robin stuff, and that was not impressive at all.
We don't talk about that run. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Cause that book was done after issue 2, Dylan. I was like, nope. I see where y'all be going with this one. We're done.
Yeah, that
No way.
story was
No,
just
thank you.
that story was
No, thank you.
terrible in every possible way.
you saw how everybody was excited and everybody read issue number 1, and then after that everybody was like, no, we're done. I
Yeah.
haven't seen anybody talk about Robin past issue number 2. I don't know if anybody else even read it. I couldn't tell y'all, but yeah, no, it's a no for me, dog.
Yeah.
It's a no. It's a no. Was Wonder Woman even in the world's finest? No, she has not made an appearance yet. She has not made an appearance yet. Hopefully she will, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. But what I do hope for this series, if they do go the right way, is that I want Superboy to go back to his New Earth kind of look, because no offense, I know some people like, oh, I love the leather jacket and the tight outfit or whatever, but the problem with that one is it kind of de-aged Connor, and it took away all the character development that he had over time. You know how you say you want characters to change and grow. Well, first off, Connor should be massive compared to John Kent. He shouldn't be smaller than John Kent. That doesn't even make any logical sense. Like, in the 2000s, after he had his change and grow or whatever and stuff like that, when he started wearing the black t-shirt and jeans, he was a buff motherfucker. He was up there with Superman as, like, I was like, God damn it, that boy got huge, And then we're getting Connor back. He goes back to his 90s look. It's like he never grew up. But then there are comic books that'll talk about him when he was in his 2000s form or whatever, or like Match in Suicide Squad was at the memories of Connor. So I'm kind of confused. I'm like, well, if that's the case, why is Connor Kent back as this little scrawny teen child when he should be a young adult teenager with massive biceps and a black t-shirt? Like, you can keep the jacket if you need to, that's fine, but I think Connor needs back to what he was in the Jeff Johns run. I know some people like, oh, well, he got moody and he kind of got more serious. Yes, because he was growing up. You can't expect him to stay the same lovable goofball. That doesn't work. That's not character development. He can't stay the same forever. And it's weird for him to still go back to that 90s aesthetics. Makes sense, especially if you're not going to make him look like a massive hero, if that makes sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Dylan?
Yeah, I hear you.
I know a lot of people probably like, oh, I like the 90s look on him and what, that's great and all, but I don't like when a character is just stuck. And that's the same thing. It's the same thing as like when Tim Drake came back in Rebirth, and he was like the Tim Drake that we known, and then Megan Fitzmartin gets a handle on him, and he gets the age, Connor gets the age, and I'm just like, the hell happened to these two? They look like little bitches. And they're supposed to be older than half the characters, that the brand new characters that they introduced, and yet they look scrawny. I just don't understand that, to me. But hopefully it'll be a good book. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't subvert our expectations, because nobody wants their subverted. Please, DC, do not subvert our expectations with Dawn of DCU. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, no. DC is going for boy lover audience, or they want to relive high school or whatnot. I think so. Even the Terrible Titans show got a built actor Connor, because Connor's built like Connor. Don't nobody want uh as much as the 90s look was really cool. A buff Connor in a damn black t-shirt and jeans is way more appealing than scrawny 90s loving Superboy. I'm just being honest. That Superboy in what, the Death and Return of Superman. Did anybody really care for that, Connor? Or did you really care about the moody Young Justice one? Even though I think Young Justice went too far with Connor's moodiness, though, but it's whatever with that too. But more people were attracted to Connor with the black shirt, jeans, and angst than, oh, the little short stack skinny boy with Superman powers. That was, I don't know. But anyway, let's continue. Let me see what else is going on with here. Um, so this one, Dylan, this one right here kind of pissed me off right here, but I'm gonna read it. Green Lantern fans will have their pick of Green Lantern books in 2023, with both Green Lantern Hal Jordan and Green Lantern John Stewart flying into comic book shops. Green Lantern Hal Jordan, written by Mariko Tamaki, and the artist yet to be announced, will be available in April. Fan favorite Hal Jordan returns to and his blockbuster superhero action storytelling roots. Spinning out of that series will be launching later in the year Green Lantern John Stewart, and it's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson and the artist yet to be announced at a later date. The beloved John Stewart is getting back to basis as the military trained, gritty, but heroic Green Lantern. Do you see how they sabotage Hal Jordan, Dylan? They sabotage Hal Jordan. That book, Mariko Tamaki, I Am Not Starfire. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hal Jordan be kissing with a man in one book, because what's his name? What's that? Grant Morrison has said, oh yeah, Hal Jordan is pansexual, and Mariko Tamaki loves to throw in some kind of LGBT stuff in there. So I can't believe they like, because John Stewart is gonna have Philip Kennedy Johnson writing. And Philip Kennedy Johnson is a good writer, so I have no doubt that John Stewart is going to be a good book. It's the Hal Jordan book that I'm worried about. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, we'll have to see, because I mean, after having read Crush and Lobo, it doesn't really inspire any confidence there.
Mm. All I had to do was read I Am Not Starfire. I said, miss me with that. And then somebody was like, but what about Dark Detective? Look, I don't like nothing from Future State, honestly. I think most of Future State was a waste of time. So, no. And then remember, she had Detective Comics. And a lot of people dropped the Detective Comics book and went to the Batman book because she was horrible. So clearly she's not doing something. So I don't know. Excuse me. Let's see. Oliver Queen has been lost since and his family is determined to find him, but there are dangerous forces determined to keep them apart at any cost. Green Arrow, written by Joshua Williams and Sean Ezekiel from Thunderbolts, will launch in April. Okay. How do we feel about Green Arrow, Dylan? And his family trying to find him.
I mean, it could be interesting. They haven't really done much with Green Arrow in a while, so who knows?
Yeah. And you know what's so crazy is all of the Green Arrow characters keep appearing in other books, and their storylines should be in a Green Arrow book, but instead they're like showing up in Catwoman and Batman and Robin, and I'm just like, okay, let's take the Green Arrow stuff out of the Batman universe, and I don't know, let's put it in Green Arrow. I'm just saying. This is Batman Brave and the Bold. So a classic title returns with the tales of the Dark Knight and core stories building out of Dawn of DC coming in May. Batman the Brave and the Bold feature top writers and artists, including Tom King from Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, Grayness, Mr. Miracle, March Cat, Lantern Earth One, Dan Mora, and Rob Williams, Suicide Squad, and more. Yay! I don't know, because I'm about getting tired of Tom King on anything at this point. Like, is this book gonna be like? I wonder if this book is gonna be one of those kind of books, back in the old day, like they used to have Action Comics Weekly. Dylan, I don't know if you remember that book, where it was a book that came out every week, but it was different stories by different writers and art. I mean, well, not the artist, but it will always be a different writer, different stories in that book. Maybe Batman Brave and the Bold might be something like that. So we might get like one story from Tom King, and then after that it'll be somebody else. Hopefully get his ass off of Batman. I'm sick of his ass. No offense.
I'm pretty sure that's how this is going to work.
Yeah. Dark Crisis forever changed Victor Stone, and now as the dawn of DC rises, he might just hold the secrets to Earth's future. He gets his own series, Cyborg, in May. Ugh, God, what I tell you, he a side hoe. Side hoes need to stay in their place to the side. Like I don't care. Please stop trying to make Cyborg a thing. Just no, put his ass in the Titans and keep him down. Honestly, how do you feel about Cyborg, Dylan?
I honestly haven't read like any of his series, so it's not
And like
something that I
one,
intend to read in this one either.
I read 2 issues from the New 52 run, and I was just like, I don't care. Like I wanted to care about Cyborg, and I think the character is a good character, but as long as DC tries to keep him away from the Teen Titans and not have that connection with the Titans, then there's really no point in the book because he doesn't connect with me with the Justice League team at all. And they keep trying to make that happen, and it doesn't work. If anything, he's Batman's bitch when he's on that team. Because Batman uses him for the tech stuff that Batman can build himself. Cyborg, here, take control of this little thing or stuff like that. Sure, Batman. That's it. Like Batman already can do everything that Cyborg is there for. Batman hacked the mother box before. He knows how to control stuff. He's built a lot of technology. He builds the Justice League towers. He built the Hall of Justice. I don't understand what Cyborg brings to the table in Justice League, but they keep trying to make him a thing. He's like that fetch beam. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's never going to happen. That's what Cyborg is. Now, this one I'm a little excited for because this is Shazam #1 by Dan Mora, the Batman Superman World's Finest writers Mark Waid and artist Dan Mora reunite once again on Shazam, available in June. Billy Batson is back as the champion in action comedy comic about the boy with power of Superman, and a whole lot of growing up left to do. We'll see Captain Marvel hang out at the Rock of Eternity, his secret clubhouse that can travel through space and time, as well as punching dinosaurs in the face and seeing how long he can hold his breath on the moon, and getting into wild fun adventures with his tiger, taunting tiger. Sold. I'm sold. Look at that, Dylan. He's even back in his classic Captain Marvel costume. I don't know if you can really see it, but look, he got the little thing. He got the sash around him and everything. I'm like, yes, sign me up for this one. As long as we don't have to deal with that foster family from Billy, I don't care. Just keep them as side characters, but don't let them have the power of Shazam at all. But the way Dan Mora and Mark Waid does for Superman World's Finest, I think Shazam is going to be a good book. And Lord knows Shazam needs it. No offense to Jeff John, bruh. You tried, but ever since you rebooted the Shazam family, nobody cares about them. They really don't. I don't care about them. And I'm mad that they were the focus in the Shazam movie. What do you think, Dylan? I know you're probably not a big fan of Shazam, though.
I mean, I am, but yeah, I haven't been a fan of him for a while because I didn't really like the way they did the family thing either. Like it didn't make sense. I saw what they were going for, but it didn't work for me. And so I kind of lost a lot of interest in the character, especially
Yeah,
like once they started calling him Shazam, especially I was like everything about the character that was awesome to me, they basically kind of tried to redo, and it never caught on with me.
yeah. Especially like when we see the foster family, and the foster family is every race. I was like, oh hell no, oh hell
Yeah.
no, bro. I know exactly what y'all doing. Y'all trying to make the damn Marvel family diverse on purpose. Like, oh, this Hispanic family of every child of every race because of reasons, right? No, get out of here with that. Get out of here with that nonsense. They tried, and
Yeah.
I tried, and I read the Shazam Rebirth run. Jeff Johns tried his best, but it's just like Jeff. if you don't let go of this new 52 shit, it's not going to work. You should have went back to classic Captain Marvel. Nobody cares about the kids. They don't care about the diverse kids. The only that people care about in the world of Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel Billy Batson, Mary Marvel, and Captain Marvel Jr. Those three characters. I don't care about the fat Asian boy. I don't care about the Latino man, and I don't care about the little black girl. They are not characters. Honestly, Dylan, can you even name them?
No, I never got to know like any of them.
That's what I'm saying, because they're not important. Like,
Yeah.
nobody I don't care about them. And I tried reading the Rebirth run, even with those characters, they said their names several times over, and I'm like, I don't care. I really wish I can care, but I just do not care about these characters, and I really wish they stopped trying to force them down our throats. And like the other thing, when Jeff Johns said that he assumed that the DC fans wouldn't know the difference between Captain Marvel DC and Captain Marvel from Marvel, I'm like, whoa, Jeff, you jump to conclusions. You jump to conclusions, bruh. Why the hell would we not call Captain Marvel Captain Marvel? Even when they were celebrating the Captain Marvel movie, the Shazam movie, everybody at Comic Con was like, "Don't call him Shazam. We call him Captain Marvel." Thank
Mhm.
you. In the movie, they couldn't call him anything else because they don't. Because as soon as they say Shazam, they will transform back into their human forms. So just call him Captain Marvel. Jesus Christ. DC has the right to call him Captain Marvel, promote him as Captain Marvel. That's it. It's not that hard to understand. That's all about it. But all right, let's see what else they talking about. After escaping Gotham City and his criminal past to happily retire to Metropolis, the Penguin is forced back into organized crime by the government. The feather felon in Gotham City will never be the same. Spinning out the pages of Batman, the Penguin will be available in June with writer Tom King. I'm sorry, Dylan. It just makes my spirit. It aggravates my spirit.
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't read anything by Tom King anymore.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like that's no. It's a no. It's a no for me anyway. And on top of that, I just don't think strong enough of a character that he needs a solo run. I really don't. Not hell. Honestly, I don't even think Harley Quinn is strong enough for a solo run. Y'all just keep trying to force the bitch in there. We're not doing this with the Penguin. I don't care that Penguin is getting a show on HBO Max and you want some synergy with shit. No, it's a no for me. And here's the last one that kind of pisses me off, Dylan. So, just in time for his 30th anniversary, John Henry Irons must bring Metropolis into the future while trusting his niece Natasha to take care of the mantle of Steel. Steelworks will be available in June from the talented hasn't been revealed yet. So, we're going to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Steel, John Henry Irons. But instead of celebrating him as a character, we're going to give his mantle of Steel to his niece Natasha. Like, yeah, that works out perfectly. Oh, you want to know how we're going to celebrate John Henry Irons? What's that? He's going to give up the title of Steel and permanently give it to his niece. What?
Mhm.
That's how you celebrate his 30th anniversary? Okay. All right. Sure. Like, ugh. I don't know what they were thinking. I really don't know that idea.
I mean, it's not that much of a surprise though for them to do something like that. In their minds, I'm sure they think that that's the highest honor, I guess, for the character is for him to just pass on the mantle to someone else. It Why? Like, there's no real reason why the character can't go on for another 30 years being Steel.
That's true. If anybody needs a new title, Niece, because I don't understand why she called herself Steel when your uncle is called Steel. Like it kind of it's kind of dumb because when she showed up in the Titans, they were like Natasha. She was like, "Call me Steel." Why? Like, your uncle is Steel. We don't need you. We don't need you to be the Steel. Like the aggravation, Dylan. Let's see. Darson said again, they care mostly about the mantles, the power, and the frame and the fame, than the person who worked hard and of heroism. That's true. The Marvel family was like Captain Planet. That's pretty much what it was in the New 52. And then Darson also said the New 52 needed a black guy on the team. Okay, if you needed a black guy on the team, you could have put Black Lightning on there. You could have put Vixen. You could have Black Voltage on there. You could have put John Stewart. Like there was no. You could have put Icon in it. You like, come on now. There were some black characters. You could have put Steel in it for all you want. If you really wanted a black man that could also be a tech person, John Henry Irons would have been perfect. I would have preferred that over Cyborg, honestly.
True. Mm-hmm.
And he's a better character, honestly. They said no, Mariko ruins She-Hulk and I Am Not Starfire. Yeah. That Green Arrow story should have been a Wonder Woman story. Why you say it should have been a Wonder story, Roland Dodge? I don't understand that. Connor also should act as a big brother to John Kent, the original John. Yeah. Yeah, Connor Kent should be a big brother to Connor. Um Connor should have his 2000 personality with a bit of his feel before it fell to crap. Yeah, that's what it was. The disrespect Wonder Woman gets. I know. Have I read the Power Ranger Ninja Turtle one? No, I have not. Okay, I got you. Um, let me see what all you guys are saying. Sorry. Yes, I have watched. I mean, no, I have not read that one. I've read the Batman and Ninja Turtle one. I have not read the Power Rangers Ninja Turtle one. I don't think I have. Um, even the terrible. Yeah, that's right. Hold on. Let me see. Said that just like Superman World War Saga, also Supergirl did the same thing recently too. Yeah, Supergirl did leave the Earth to go find herself and all that kind of nonsense. My only knowledge of the Doom Patrol was the Teen Titans cartoon and the Blackest Night event. Yeah. Um their gender identities and sexualities existing around the Transformers universe. I have no idea. Trey, Watch Dogs, they're doing a live action Watchdog. No, I did not know that. Remember DC is trying to killing joke with the other villains. Yeah, they are, and it is dumb as hell. Hold on, let me find the there was a let me find a little thing right quick that I want to share. Let's see. I'm looking for something. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hold on. I want to make sure I get the little thingy. Okay. All right, cool. All right. One more thing I'm looking up so I can have it ready right quick because I want to make sure I get it right while we talk about it because I want to talk about this two things. Um, let me read y'all comments while I'm looking up the little thing. See if you guys said anything right quick. Um, you chilling. Y'all have a good day. You too. Let's see. DC Comics is far up my shit list. I don't even care what's coming in 2023. That's true. I can understand that. I mean, they should have did that type of Green Arrow story with Wonder Woman. After she died, her family should have been looking for her instead of what they did. Yeah, you are definitely right about that one. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that one for real. Um, mm, 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 mm. I'm looking for this that I saw somebody post about something, and I want to make sure I get it out here before I just assume right quick. Uh-oh. Back.
Oh
I was
yeah, I
explaining,
am bet.
I was explaining to them about these terrible ideas of these mantle swaps, and it's just like, how are you gonna um going to celebrate somebody's anniversary like that? And then rolling down that the Green Arrow story where they're looking for him is the story idea that they should have did for Wonder Woman. You know, when she died after Dark Knight's death metal and the start of Infinite Frontier. That's what should have happened. You know,
Hmm. Okay,
I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
that'd be interesting. I'd like to see that.
Let me see. Where is the thing? Oh yeah, for hold on. I'm looking for some article right quick. I couldn't remember where it was at, but now I see it. Okay, I had to type it in. I had to make sure I was getting it. Mhm. As they should. Was it? Oh, Dylan, did you hear about that game? What's that darn thing called? Saints Row, right? And you know they did that
Yeah,
reboot. So
right.
apparently the studio that did the reboot is shutting down, and it's going to be folded into another company or whatever and stuff like that. So all those people that was working on that game got laid off, and it's just like, nah, shit, Sherlock. We tried to tell you that the game wasn't going to be good. Like,
Hmm.
what was you
They
expecting?
really should have left that one alone. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. There was no real reason for them to even try rebooting it, considering it wasn't that long ago that they just had one out. So I don't know why they thought this was the one for them to try their stupid ideas on. But as you can see, I hope they learned a lesson from that. If nothing else, I hope they learned a lesson about what not to do and about learning to take other people's advice.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I just don't understand what they could have possibly been thinking. Um, by like, oh yeah, let's do this whole new woke agenda. I guess they were saying people were saying it was woke agenda, and they were trying to make it reflect the real world or something like that. And I'm like, nobody cares about that. What are you doing?
I
Um,
mean, I the only thing that I will give them on that is that I would have been okay because like when it comes to the Saints Row games, I like Saints Row 3 a little bit better than 4, mostly because with 3 it still had the element of you could go and like get cool vehicles and like the whole experience, like the excitement of like finding bigger and better vehicles and shit like that. Whereas when you got to 4, it was like all of a sudden there was no reason to use vehicles because you had superpowers basically. So you could just super speed everywhere or like super jump around and shit. Like there wasn't any real reason to use cars. And that's the only thing that I would say if we could scale that back, because that kind of like was cool to me, like doing the whole cars thing. But I can see why people would probably enjoy like superpowers or whatever more. But that's the only thing that I'll agree with them on. Like, let's make it a little bit closer to reality, but just in that one aspect.
Yeah, like that's what I was thinking too. I was just like, well, if the or being raunchy or whatever, I think you should keep it like what it originally, not what you think it should have been. Because I think that's
Mm,
what ruined
mhm.
it. Honestly, I really do think what it's ruined it. But there is another one too. Disney's new movie called Strange World is already
Uh,
getting it right now, and apparently the main character, the main guy character, which I don't know if you've seen the characters, Dylan.
yeah, I've seen
Um,
the trailer.
yeah, I'm gonna just show the audience the character designs for it because I was just like, oh no, like Disney, what were you thinking with this bullshit? Like, what is this? Hold on, let me see. I want to see if I get a good picture of everyone because I want the whole family involved. Okay, cool. So we got big burly mom, we got big dad, we got buff grandpa that was lost a long time ago. We got dog, we got lesbo sister, I think over here, not lesbo, but some other buff girl, and we got Mixed Boy, who is the first open LGBT boy in a movie, and they're basically saying that he's going to have a love interest. He's crushing on a boy, and people were like, "No, Disney, we don't want it." So, of course, Disney edit out all the scenes so they can release it to other countries. But then here in the United States, it's in our face. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, Disney. If if this is a family movie and your target audience is children, if parents say, hey, we don't want this LGBT nonsense, we don't want the dad to be a wimp, we don't want the mom to be a burly bitch, guess what? You shut the fuck up and you change it and you give the parents what they want, because at the end of the day, it's the parents' money that's going to this. If they don't agree with these changes or whatever with this movie, then you shouldn't do it. I don't understand how hard it is for people to understand, like, the customer is right. You can't tell people, oh, they should just themselves. No, the customers are the ones that are paying for this. And again, if the target audience is for children, why would people want to watch a main character boy fall in love with another boy? It doesn't make the sense God gave. And people were like, "Oh, the scene isn't long, or they don't really harp on it as much in the movie." It doesn't matter if parents feel uncomfortable with it. Parents feel uncomfortable with it because they have that right. You can't get mad that parents on that exposure to their children. They have every right to say no. I don't know why people think that parents have the right to say no to anything or what their children watch. You know, what do you think?
Yeah, this cast just looks like background character of the movie. Like none of these. If you were to ask me like who's the main character in this cast, I'd be like, well, are any of these characters in more than one scene? Like
Right,
these could
right.
not be important people in the movie. None of them stick out to me like, oh, that one's the hero. Like, no, I don't see
Hell,
anything here that makes me want to see what's going to happen to them.
I just would have said the woman because I was like, it's Disney. The women are usually the main characters.
That's fair.
That's
That's
about
fair.
it. That's all I got for you. I couldn't tell you much or nothing really. Darcy said, I'm getting tired of Disney's 3D animation. Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. I wish they would go back to 2D so bad, because what was the point of buying Pixar? What's the
I
point of
mean,
buying
because
Pixar?
the thing is, like, they really shouldn't have bought Pixar. They should have left like the 3D animation to Pixar, and they should have gone back to 2D because I mean it's to the point now where like there are a lot of other studios competing in like the 3D market, and people are kind of abandoning the 2D way, even though it's what the whole industry, like the animation industry, was built on. So I mean, they
Yeah.
really need to go back to what they're good at or what
Yeah,
they
I
were
think
good
that's
at.
probably why people are more excited for anime than what we're doing in the Western world, because it's 2D. It's 2D animation. Like recently, Japan just released a movie called Shigunya. Oh fuck, I know I probably fucked up the goddamn name. But it's this beautiful animation. It's about a girl and a boy and a mysterious door. The door opens up and it looks like it's gonna cause destruction. And the boy turns into a fucking chair. Don't ask me because it's from the trailer. I don't know. You know, Japan always got to get weird. Um, and then the girl is determined to save the day, lock the door, and change the boy that she is in love with back to a human before time runs out. And people are excited for the movie. People are talking about the movie. So um it made more money than Black Panther. So so they're doing something right. Especially for a movie that doesn't have that much of a budget compared to Black Panther. That's a success than Black Panther. People need to understand like Black Panther cost is 250 million, and that's just the movie. But remember, people have to understand the movie was also halted. So you got to add another 100 million for reshoots and that time waste when they had shut down the production and started the production again because you're losing money each day. So I will put another 100 million there. So therefore, Black Panther is 350 million. Then they put 150 million behind promoting the movie and any kind of deals that they have to be like, Wakanda for never stuff. So technically, the movie is probably worth. I mean, the budget is probably 400, 500 million, and people were like, "Oh, but it made 30 million worldwide. That's not good. It's not bad, but it's not good compared to them having a budget to between 350 million to 450 million. Yeah, that's they have to literally make 850 million to break even. That's break even point. That we're not even talking about profit, y'all. To break even. Okay. If y'all think Wakanda Forever is gonna make a lot of money, okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I no. No.
I mean, I guess stranger things have happened, but
Yeah. I mean, they could always do the whole Captain Marvel thing where they secretly buy tickets and make it look like the movie did better than what it really did. Ooh, I exposed y'all secret. Ooh.
yeah, I'm just. I mean, I'm going to go see it this Sunday.
See you.
We'll see. We'll
I'll
see
pray
what
for you.
happens.
I'll pray for you.
Yeah, thank you. Especially because uh, I'm one of the people that will be going to see it with myself and my boyfriend is one of his coworkers, his friend, who enjoys pissing me off about stuff. His favorite thing was when we were watching Werewolf by Night, and he kept
Uh,
calling Man Thing Swamp Thing, knowing damn well that was just going to annoy me. So I already know he's going to be talking all kinds of shit. So I'm ready for that. It's
right.
y'all pray for me that the blood pressure stays down, y'all, because y'all know your boy likes some popcorn and the sodium and the high blood pressure. Y'all might end up hearing about me dying in the movie theater. Is it?
Dying
Wouldn't
of
that be
boredom.
a way to go? Dying
Dying
in
of
Black
boredom.
Panther.
And Dylan, the movie is almost 3 hours long. It is. I was just like, what happened? Oh my lord! I mean,
It's
luckily I didn't have
sucking
to go
up the
to.
whole of my life.
Thank goodness I didn't have to go to a movie theater to go see it. But my God, Dylan, it is too long. You're gonna be like, all right, let's wrap this movie up. Let's wrap it up. That's what. Come on, like no way. Let's see. Disney keeps putting its progressive crap, but have to cut them out for more money. Other countries. Ain't that crazy how that works? Ain't that crazy how that
Don't you
works?
love it?
Don't you love how they tell us we have to accept it, but then but other countries said, no, we don't. Oh, yes, master. We gonna take sit out. We gonna take sit out. Yeah, we knew you'll see it our way. Like what?
Mhm. And it worked like a charm.
Edward said, "Why are they putting this in a kids movie? Now parents are going to have to explain this confusion to their impressionable mind kids." Well, guess what? Um, if you're a smart parent and you make sure that you look at these movies ahead of time, you most likely not going to go and take your child to go see it. But we'll see when this movie come out, and if parents have issues, I don't want to hear Disney talking about, oh, it's people being homophobic. No, it's a movie you targeted for kids. Parents have to go take them, and then the main character, he's in. What? What?
Mhm.
How you gonna explain that to children? And then, of course, people who are against that thing, they'll be like, well, don't nobody say nothing when the girl and the guy gets together, because it's human nature, and most kids have a mommy, so it's normal for a child to see a woman and a man together than it is a woman and a woman together, or a man and a man together in affection ways. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. Woo. Um, let's see. Omega said, and then why Japan is kicking their asses. And then Roland Dodge said, I haven't watched it, but I heard about Baymax. In Baymax talking about periods. Yeah. Yeah, he went to he in his Baymax TV series, he went down to help a girl with her period and asked people about which pad should we use.
Yeah,
and And that
that was
trans guy, came up there
yeah.
looking like a burly man, talking about, "Oh, I use this one. Get out of this scene. Get out of this scene. Go."
No, yeah, we actually watched that scene literally last night because yesterday my boyfriend and I had Friendsgiving with friends. So for
Uh,
whatever reason, that show ended up getting put on, and that episode came on. And I was like, oh god, especially when it got to that scene like where he's looking for the pads and shit. I was like, oh, would y'all hurry up, dude? Like, we get it. Like they said, we had Turning Red. They had a whole movie dedicated to that. We don't need all kinds of different shit about periods. There is not a single movie that I can think of that's explicitly about guys getting boners. Okay, there are movies that allude to that. There's not a single movie that's all about that. So
that's
they
true.
need to stop and
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah, Turning Red was about that. Now that I remember, I was watching Toaster's video about it, and I was like, you know what? I never paid attention. I just thought the movie was freaking weird. I was like, this is weird. And this is how you know I'm a boy, because I didn't understand that that's what the panda was meaning. Like, I was like, this movie is so fucking weird. I mean, whatever girls go through, I mean, yeah, girls go through some stuff, but what the fuck am I watching? And then when he broke it
I
down, he was like, you're basically watching a girl who's on her period, sassing her mother and having mood swings or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this movie was about periods. Why did I not see this? Like, because I guess I
I
was more creeped out about the fucking panda shit. Like, I was just like, I don't understand what's happening here and why the girl is so freaking gross. No offense. I mean, the main character was kind of gross to me. I was just like, I understand girls are weird. I understand us guys are weird, but when you emphasizes it, it just looks unappealing to the average person. You just be like,
I mean,
oh,
the thing to me that was really just disconcerting was the when the mom got really upset, she turned into a really big panda. So I was like, does that mean like her flow gets heavier when she's mad? Or does she
I
just
guess
have like the heaviest flow in the family and that's why she's an extra big panda? I was
what
like, there's too much here that they're not answering.
Yeah, and then when the girl was like, and guess what, mom? I like shaking my ass. You like that? You like that? I'm like, girl, this is inappropriate. It doesn't matter that you're angry at your mom. This is inappropriate on so many levels. So many levels. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Ugh. And then they wanted to emphasize the fact that they're Asian, but they're also from Canada. And it's just like, y'all do realize Americans don't know that much about Canada. So some of the things that you guys were talking about, flew
Yeah,
over his
that's
head. I was like,
it, it to me, it's just it kind of felt like, I mean, I don't okay. Let's talk, because yeah, like you said, they're Chinese and living in Canada, but then on top of that, like in the story, like their family runs like this little museum that teaches people about China and Chinese
yeah,
culture. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then like the people they have in there look like they're like Inuit, like indigenous Canadian people or whatever it was called before they called it Canada. Like that's who they're teaching about Chinese culture. That's kind of like having, a Disney movie that's about, I guess, like people here in America who teach Native Americans about American history. It's like that kind of feels like a little bit weird. Anybody who saw that would be like, do you think Native Americans want to learn about America from the people who took the land from them? And that's kind of exactly the vibe that I got from that. I was
yeah.
like, so they moved to this country and they're teaching the native people about their culture in their land. All right, go off. Go ahead, Disney.
Right, right. That's the. It was just so weird. I mean, honestly, the only thing I liked here was the boy band group. I was just like, all right, this is the only thing. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I don't like everything else in the movie. I was just like, what?
It just kind of reminded me of the boy band stuff from like That's So Raven.
Yeah, and honestly, to me, it wasn't a movie for everyone to watch. I was just like, so now that I watched this
Yeah.
movie, this movie was definitely not for me as not even as an animation fan, as a movie goer fan, as a male. The movie was not made for us, Dylan, at all. That movie was strictly made for Asian women, Canadians, and yeah, that was it. That was it. That was it. And girls. But mainly it was made Asian women. It was another movie that went so heavy on the women empowerment that you kind of pushed everyone else out from even, supporting the movie. Because honestly, watching the movie, I was just like, there is nothing in there for me to be like, yeah, a good movie that people need to go back to watch at all.
Yeah.
Um, for Turning Red, it was basically a self-insert character of the creator. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. That's what it was. Um, um, and said, yeah, they all talk about LGBT representation all day, but when it comes to that overseas money, they'll quickly change their tune to appease certain countries. They do it all the time. Like, no way. And I just don't understand. But that's another that goes to into the fact that they're forcing us to accommodate to it, but they don't want other countries to to deal with it. But let's get on to the next topic. Spider-Man freshman year, Dylan. I don't know if you heard any of the news, but apparently freshman year is supposed to be canceled. Now, I don't know if it's real or not, but the rumors is that they fired the entire season one of freshman year, and they're supposed to be bringing in a new batch of people and revamping the show. So I don't know what's going on, but apparently it looks like we might not even see this first season of freshman year of Spider-Man, which is great to me, Dylan. I think it's a good idea that we're not seeing freshman year because it makes absolutely no sense. I don't care about Peter Parker's 6 months before he became Spider-Man, before Tony Stark recruited him, because second off, this freshman year, the continuity doesn't even make any logical sense. But then they announce, oh well, it's in another MCU reality. So that makes it even worthless. It makes it worthless because if that's you could have gave me a sixth season of Spider-Man where we get to see Spider-Man go and get Mary Jane at the end of that season. You could have gave me a second season of Spider-Man Unlimited where we get to see the master plans of Venom and Carnage. You could have gave me a third season of Spectacular Spider-Man where we get darker storylines and we get Gwen Stacy in that one. Um, what's another show you could have gave me? Um, those three shows actually, you could did something with those three Spider-Man shows that people actually want to see. Honestly, I don't know if people really want to see Spider-Man Unlimited, but I know people want to see Spectacular Spider-Man and the original Man series that kind of both of them ended on a cliffhanger. Honestly, so instead of wasting my time with Spider-Man freshman year, you could have gave me something like that. And I don't know what's going on, but the staff and crew that the Disney's talking about layoffs. They done fired the entire staff from season freshman year. There's rumors that they're supposed to be reframing and retooling the show for its second season, but then also they don't know if we're even going to be able to see the first season. Ain't that crazy?
Hmm. Well, damn.
That's what I said. I said good because I don't need to see a black Norman Osborn. I really
Oh yeah, I
don't.
forgot they're gonna do that. Yeah, it's every time they do one of these animated shows, they always like changing little things here and there. So it probably will be for the best, and it's nothing all that special that we're losing out on. So if it is canceled for sure, then I'm not gonna say that I'm sad to see it go or anything. I wasn't all that excited to see it to begin with. So
Yeah. I didn't like nothing I was seeing. I was just like, nope, nope. They're talking about, oh, Spider-Man's gonna have a lot of different suits. Why? Why? Like, no,
it's a,
stop.
that's a very weird selling point for Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have Dr. Octavius. What? In the MCU, he doesn't exist. Norman yet. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Nico Nakamura is going to be in there. Wait, you mean the bitch from Runaways? She's supposed to be in LA at the time. What are we? Daredevil. Why is Daredevil here? Daredevil didn't meet Peter Parker until No Way Home. Like, what? Come on now, like y'all continuity. Ugh!
Oh
I'm like,
no,
it's
yeah,
getting
they
too
don't even
hard.
worry about it anymore.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing too, is like nobody's holding nobody accountable for continuity of their own movies. The one who wanted to do this interconnected universe, Kevin. You can't get mad when fans call you out and hold you accountable for continuity errors.
Mhm.
You know, and it's not my fault that you decided you want to get lazy with it. And then what's so funny is it's the same show. This is the same people. The MCU fanboys are the ones that are cheering for this show because they want to watch it. Are the same ones who said we don't need to see another origin of Spider-Man. We already seen it several hundred times,
Yeah.
just like we don't need to see the origins of Uncle Ben dying 700 times. And I'm like, slow your roll. It's only was two seen Uncle Ben die, and we only seen two origins of Spider-Man in live action movies. Calm your nerves. Calm your nerves. Like, ugh.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. Like they made excuses for it because, well, when the Tom Holland movie, like the first one was going to come out, it was like, well, we don't need to see that origin again. We've already seen it and everything. And so, Marvel Disney took that and they were like, okay, well then let's just completely revamp his origin. Uncle Ben never existed. Now it's just Aunt May, and she's young and hot. Like, what are y'all doing, man?
Right, right. That's what I said. I was just like, man, bro, what the hell? Reason it looks like Mary said hi, hi,
Hello.
wavy hands. And then Manny Name said there was a Spider-Man cartoon that takes place in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man film. Oh yeah, you talking about the MTV Spider-Man show? That was an interesting. That was an interesting show, actually. I remember watching it. It was early 3D. It was early 3D, and yeah, it takes place after the first Spider-Man movie, before Spider-Man 2. It was a pretty interesting take on the characters. And
Hmm.
then Sam said Civil War was the most movie in the MCU. It didn't have the build up for it. It didn't have the build up, honestly, for it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. It didn't have the
I
build up.
will I will
And
say that I like Civil War more now than I did before, which the only
wow,
reason
really?
for that is because of the current state of the MCU. It's like
Yeah.
had I known how much worse it was going to get, I wouldn't have complained as much. But yeah, that was the first movie that I was able to tangibly point out to somebody they're doing
The
things
cracks.
wrong.
The
Yeah.
cracks. You start seeing the cracks. I think when did I start seeing the cracks? Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is when I started seeing the cracks of
Mhm.
the MCU, and that was
That
like
was when,
early.
that
That
was
was like
definitely when
late
I
phase
started
two.
seeing it too.
Phase two. I think that was phase
Yeah.
two, and I was like, wait, something ain't right here.
Mhm.
But I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy Civil War less now than I did when I first saw it though, Dylan. I don't hate the movie. I just think that it bothers me because there's so much that could have been done before that movie premiered.
Mhm.
And I was just like, oh, we just take this here. If we put one more movie before this movie came out, this movie could have been perfect. If we could have put a real Captain America third movie here first, uh, like literally the highlights of that movie is literally Black Panther. Honestly, I know people were excited about Spider-Man, but hell, I was excited about Black Panther. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw
I
Black Panther with the
mean,
claws, I said, "Ooh, ooh,
that's kind of
hello."
like how I felt about it too. It was just, I mean, definitely, Age of Ultron was when I started to notice like they're not trying very hard to actually like stick to any storylines anymore.
Yeah.
So
Ah,
that was when
I
I
hate
started to
that.
get frustrated with it. But going into Civil War, like I knew already that wasn't what they were going to do. I think that was what cushioned my disappointment at the time, was that going into it, I was like, there's no way they're going to do this story right. Like they're not going to bring in all the stuff from the comics. And I was able to show that to my ex at the time because I let him read Civil War before the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember we walked out and he was like, yeah, that was nothing like the comics that I read. I was like, yeah, I know. So I was like,
Yeah.
I tried to tell you beforehand they were not going to do that story. So yeah, ever since then, it's just been a steady decline.
Yeah.
But
Like
I mean,
they were doing too much. They were doing too much in that movie.
yeah. But
They were
looking
definitely doing
back
too
on it
much.
now, I actually don't hate it because I actually now I just kind of disassociated from the story, like the comics that I
Yeah.
read, and I look at it more for like just like the action sequences and stuff like that, like the little character moments we get and stuff. Those things I'm like, okay, this is fine. It still has a little bit too much of, that Marvel humor that we get way too much of now, but
Yeah.
it it was still less than what we see. So in that way, I'm comparatively it's better.
I'm just mad that it was called Captain America. I was like, no,
Yeah, Captain America. So
we should have got a real Captain America third movie first before Civil War.
yeah,
That's
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 the thing. They
that's the
they tried
thing
to
that really
rush too
pisses me
many
off.
iconic storylines.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was like, oh man, come on, y'all. Y'all had an opportunity to tell a real Captain America story, and instead you said, let's jump to Civil War when the movie should have been called Avengers Civil War instead. Like, what
Mhm.
were y'all thinking? What were y'all thinking? Crystal said Gwen Stacy was actually in the new Spider-Man series. Peter was texting with someone on the computer, and heck, they even referenced her comic book number and the comic book issue that she died. That doesn't mean that she was in it. That doesn't mean she was in it. It was just a reference to her. Um, I just want to read Spider-Man to be laid to. I just want Spider-Man to be laid to rest. Most of these stupid decisions boil down to Marvel's comics' unwillingness to have Peter Parker grow up. That is so true. Um, I was excited for both and Civil War. What? What?
Mm.
You was excited for Civil War, Blue Wind? Yes, we were excited. At least Civil War had more stakes than Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Zemo Motives had more sense than Luthor's. Not really many names because Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice was not a fucking war. It was literally Batman and Superman facing off against each other. That's not universal things. And they didn't have 10 years of no, they didn't have what it was like 12, it was 20 movies that led up to that, to Civil War. They didn't have that behind them, so you can't really compare Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice to Civil War. And again, Luthor's plan is a master manipulator. He manipulated Batman and Superman to fight each other. If you watch the Ultimate Edition, his plans is really there. Um, That's all I'm saying. I I just have to always come back. I'd be like, hey guys, watch the movie. Get out your head. Like this is like when you watch DCEU movies, you have to actually watch them. You can't just go in there and just mindlessly watch them. I think that's one of the things that I think DC has over Marvel is that when you watch a DCEU movie, you can always go back and be like, damn, there was some shit in there. Like you can't go into a DCEU movie and think you're just gonna watch mindless entertainment. You're not gonna get that. You're gonna get entertained, but you better know that you're going to get a damn story, whether it's convoluted or not. While Marvel movies, you can kind of shut your brain off and be like, "Yep." Like, um, we need a new season of that Spider-Man MTV series. I don't even know if anybody even cares about it anymore. I would love for that Spider-Man show to get another season. I think it was an interesting take, just like I think Spider-Man Unlimited deserves another season as well. But hell, all the good Spider-Man shows kind of ended on cliffhangers if you really think about it, you know. I mean, I was excited for both Black Panther and Spider-Man, and then we got Homecoming. Oh my God, Homecoming! What a disaster of a Spider-Man movie that was to me. But I think Far From Home was the worst one out of all the Spider-Man MCU movies. I was just like, no, no, no. What is this? This isn't a Spider-Man movie. I don't know what this is, but it ain't it. It ain't it for me. This ain't for me. Um, what do you think, Dylan? Did you enjoy the Spider-Man MCU movies? They are not my favorite Spider-Man movies. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. I know people be like, "Oh, it's better than Amazing Spider-Man 2." Honestly, I'd rather take Amazing Spider-Man 2 over the bullshit that Marvel did with the MCU Spider-Man because he didn't act like Spider-Man. I'm sorry, he didn't. He didn't act like Spider-Man. He had too much reliance on Iron Man, especially in the second movie. It was just like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this without Mr. Stark. Bitch, what the fuck you crying over Mr. Stark for?
Yeah, the over reliance on that, and because like it just feels really weird to me that they would choose to do that with a character like Spider-Man. Like there was absolutely it wasn't like they needed to attach Spider-Man to Iron Man in order to make the character popular.
Yeah,
Like it just it felt like a really strange thing. Like Spider-Man is smart in his own way. Like Peter Parker is smart without even ever having met, Tony Stark. So I don't know why they felt like that was the right way to go with the character, because yeah, it really just felt so inconsistent with everything about him, that he would be that attached. It
yeah,
was like, we get it. That I guess that was why they shot themselves in the foot bringing him in during Civil War, because yeah, during the Civil War thing, there was, he was going like really close with Iron Man at first, but then there's the whole thing where he switches and he starts, helping the other side and helping Captain America more, but they didn't get a chance to ever explore that. So it was like they had to stick with him being so close to Tony Stark that it just completely got away from anything that Peter Parker should be. And yeah, it basically turned him into, like, Eric July said, into Iron Boy. Like he was just more
yep.
about like the technology that was more a Tony Stark thing rather than being about, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It felt like they went from 0 to 100 way too fast.
Oh yeah, and then his villains all having an issue with Iron Man. Like, what? What are we doing here? What is this? It's weird. It's weird.
And yeah, and then going from that one to like, you know, No Way Home, where it's like all of a sudden now we've got Doctor Strange in the mix too. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And especially like multiverse stuff already. I'm tired of it. Like,
Oh,
can y'all
tell me
ever
about
tell
it.
a story anymore that's just in one universe? Somehow everything all of a sudden is multiverses and different characters, or this villain from the comics is actually an alternate, universe version of the hero and shit. I'm tired of that already. Like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
stick it in the same universe and let's tell the story.
Pretty much. Pretty much. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, and it's bad. The MCU Spider-Man movies were bad is because my mom was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, it's supposed to be Spider-Man. She was like, no, it's not. I was like, Mom, he's the new Spider-Man for the MCU. She's like, he's not Spider-Man, he's Spider-Boy. What is this? I was like, it's his solo movie, it's his first solo movie in MCU. She was like, and it's gonna be my last time watching it. She
Mhm.
watched all the Spider-Man movies. She watched Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. And she never been turned off from Spider-Man until she saw Tom Holland's solo movie. And she was like, "Oh hell no!" It's bad that she did not watch the Far From Home or No Way Home. She was like, "No, I don't care about this Spider-Man." She thought he was absolutely aggravating in the Avengers movies too. I was like, "Mama,"
Mhm.
she's like, "I don't
Mhm.
like him. I don't. This isn't Spider-Man." And she's not a comic book head. She's not a comic book head. She's just watched a lot of Spider-Man media before,
Mhm.
and that was not Spider-Man to her. She was like, "No, he's a petulant child. He's aggravating. He doesn't know what he's doing. He has this over reliance on Iron Man." And she doesn't even know anything about Iron Man, but she was like, why do he keep trying to worry about Iron Man? What is this?" And I was like, "Yeah, Mama, this is the decision that they went with." She was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
this was the worst decision of my life to even watch this movie." Like, she was just not having this movie at all. Like, I was like, and that this is coming from my mom, a normie, a person who don't know anything about Spider-Man that much, only what she's seen on the movies. So if can call it out, I know I wasn't the only one that was feeling like that, because I was just like, in this movie, I was just like, man, Tom Holland was not a good choice. Now that I think about this shit,
Mhm.
like, and his storyline is, and I'm not going to blame everything on Tom Holland, but the storyline that they chose was just not great at
No.
all. Nope, nope. Um, Jocko said, "Hate what they did to the Avengers in the MCU. They should have done better. The Avengers should have been broken. Shouldn't have been broken up. Up this idea. The fact that Tony took advice from Thunderbolt Ross, the man who made Hulk. Well, he was also guilted from Maria when she came and showed him the pictures of her son dying. That's when he was like, oh, I guess." I guess we went too far. But honestly, that damn Ultron, that Age of Ultron shit, Dylan, what was that? What was that Ultron? And I'm talking about the Ultron. Ultron, I had the majorest problem with out of the entire movie. That Ultron bothered my spirit, Dylan. It bothered my spirit. I was like, what is this?
I That was the first time that yeah, that really was the first time that I realized. I was like, "What are they doing?" And it was before I even saw the movie. It was in the trailer when they, like, revealed that it was Tony Stark who created Ultron. I remember just, like, hearing that, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Wait, they
Yeah,
had Tony? Like, I was like, "There's
him and
wait,
Bruce.
why? That's not right. That's not who created Ultron. What the hell are they doing?" And then when I was willing, that was when I was still naive, young and naive. I think we all were at that point with the MCU movies.
Yeah.
But when I heard that, I was like, okay, maybe they're gonna pull some sort of something and it'll make sense in the story, like when I see the movie. And then I saw it and I was like, no, that didn't make it any better. What the hell? What was that? Yeah,
There's no
no.
strings on me. I'm like, oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. And then when we saw his form, I was like, why does he look like he got a human face on him? No,
I don't
no,
understand again what they
no,
were
he's
trying
not
to do
supposed
with
to
that
look
movie.
like this.
And that was
I
our
don't know what they were trying to
introduction
do
to
with
Scarlet Witch as well. Like that to me has
it.
never
And
sat well.
Quicksilver.
And Quicksilver,
And
and
Quicksilver.
we saw what happened to him.
And my thing is, I thought this movie would have been the perfect opportunity to introduce Hank Pym. I was like, oh, they doing Age of Ultron. That means they're going to introduce Hank Pym. Oh, that's great. We get to see one of the Avengers who weren't there. Him and it, because to me, it should have been the introduction of Ant-Man and the Wasp instead of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Mhm.
because Winter Soldier set them up, but that should have been an issue that Captain America dealt with in the third movie instead of Age of Ultron they show up in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I understand they showed up in Avengers. I understand they do show up in Avengers material, but it was just kind of like you kind of showed them off in Winter Soldier. So I kind of expected you to kind of put their introduction in there, and then like towards the end, you know, when they have that redemption arc or whatever and stuff like that with Captain America, um, he can introduce them to the Avengers, and that can set the movie for Age of Ultron if you want to, or something like that. I don't know, but I didn't like none of the decisions that was made in Age of Ultron, and then that was another thing that didn't make no sense because of the ending of Iron Man 3 where Tony Stark was like, "Oh, I'm gonna fix myself and I'm gonna take the arc reactor out and I'm never gonna be Iron Man again," and he threw away the arc reactor and stuff like that, and then he was like, I don't need to be Iron Man anymore. And then we get Age of Ultron, and then the first thing we do, we see Tony Stark flying in, and I'm like, what? What?
Mhm.
How is he still wearing the armor? What? I thought you were done. This doesn't make logical sense, and that's the problem. That's the problem. It, like that, Iron Man. I think maybe it was Iron Man 3. I think Dylan. I think Iron Man 3 was the foundation of the cracks. Now that I think about it, because there was so much wrong with Iron Man 3. There was so much wrong with Iron Man 3.
I still have not seen Iron Man 3 all the way through. Um,
Really?
and for good reason. Yeah, it's just it. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I
I
saw it in
couldn't.
theaters, and there were so many choices and decisions that just pissed me the hell off. And we don't even spend that much time as Tony Stark as Iron Man. We spent him mostly as Iron Man. I hate a movie that focus on side bitches instead of the main character. And then, not even that, the main character is powerless through most of the movie. That is such a turnoff to me. I don't
Mhm.
watch a movie where the main character is powerless. And he was mostly powerless during that movie, Dylan. You're just like, oh, you know?
Yeah, see, I just I couldn't. The whole thing, and you know what, maybe that was like where it really did start to. I'm sure some people would say it goes even back to like Thor: The Dark World, which I actually did enjoy. So I don't know. I guess for different people, it kind of started to show the cracks at different times, but I would definitely say yeah, somewhere around there, like towards the end of Phase 2, that's when we started to see where things were
Yeah.
headed.
Yeah. Yeah. Little did we know it was gonna turn to horse shit real
Yeah.
quick. Oh Lord have mercy. Somebody said I didn't like how they made Ultron being a comedian. Yeah, I didn't like that neither. And then Hunter said Ultron should have been the villain of Civil War, like the mastermind behind Civil War. That could have worked. I could
Mm,
believe him being the mastermind behind it.
yeah.
That would have been nice. But yeah, I think that was one of those. Ugh. Iron Man 3 is the patient zero of the beginning of poor storytelling in MCU. I mean, I can kind of see that because I remember there was a lot of criticism of Iron Man 3, and then Kevin and other people tried to make excuses for it. And it was just like, no, Iron Man 3 was horseshit. It made $1 billion because a lot of people was excited for Iron Man. But little did we know we were gonna walk into bullshit, you
I
know?
mean, I think that was also like the. I mean, you can't try and argue that it wasn't a bad movie when y'all had to make a supplement to it, saying like, "Oh, by the way, yeah, we had the whole reveal about how he wasn't really the Mandarin. Turns out the Mandarin does exist. We were kidding. It wasn't all just an acting thing. Like, no, he does exist, and he's pissed that there was an actor out there. Although apparently he's not that pissed because the guy was still alive by the time Shang-Chi came around, and now he's
Yeah,
just a joke character. So it's like, what were y'all trying to do, man?
pissing everybody off. That's what they were trying to do.
Mhm.
I
And it worked.
don't even know. Um, let me show this new clip. This is the one we can talk about because that one went around viral today. So let's bring it up. All the main Avengers are now
Oh
have
yeah.
new female versions of themselves in the MCU. Wakanda Forever. Isn't it exciting, Dylan, to see a male dominant franchise put nothing but a whole bunch of women and then expect us to be like, yeah, that's what we want.
Although I don't know why they included Clea down there in the bottom right corner. She's not replacing Stephen Strange. Like,
Not
if y'all
yet.
remember, Wong is still Sorcerer Supreme as of now.
Look, not yet. That's what because she was introduced at the end, so they're already excited about her replacing Doctor Strange.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, for no like that to me is one of the most annoying like swaps that they've done with the new Strange series and everything. It's like this is a character that only if you were actually into Doctor Strange, like into Doctor
Hmm.
Strange, would you even know who the hell she was. So the
Hmm.
fact that they just tried to like bring her in, it's like, oh, now she's the Sorcerer Supreme. Like, no, you're not gonna do that shit just because she actually existed from the get go. That doesn't mean you get to just throw her in and swap him out.
Hmm. And which is crazy is because Captain Britain and Mighty Thor are both dead. So X X these two are dead, and only these characters are alive. Honestly, but the fact that Disney is saying, I mean, the fact that people are literally talking about like this is the MCU. There are articles everywhere, and it's there are people talking about it right now. This is just great. The MCU is killing Marvel. New studies suggest that 36% of MCU fans are burnt out on superheroes. Um, the plan is full effect. MCU forever. The MCU, Wakanda Forever is a is a disaster. Let's see. And you know what's so crazy about this Wakanda Forever is that Dylan, they lock the audience score right here. So you can't even make this score go lower because they're trying to get people to be like, oh, look, the audience liked it. Yeah, because you locked it. So it doesn't matter what you put there. You know what I'm saying?
Which just goes to show like what we've always known. Nobody actually cares about the critic's opinion. Because
Yeah.
if anybody did, they wouldn't have to lock the audience score. They know that's the one that people actually pay attention to.
Hmm. And then look at it. They said Wakanda Forever commands 180 million US opening, 330 million globally. You notice how low that domestic box office is, though. I'm just saying. And then Wakanda Forever is the biggest opening of all time. Yeah.
Sure.
Somebody put Gary and made him a female, whatever, and stuff like that. But it is a disaster. I think can't wait to see the casuals flock to see the newest production of Disney's Marvel. I mean, MCU.
That's actually what's like happening because like I was talking today to my boyfriend's brother. I was actually like hanging out with him earlier, and he was telling me that he has some buddies that came down to visit. He hadn't seen them for a while, and while they were just hanging out, all of a sudden his friend was like, "Hey, I just bought us tickets to go watch Black Panther: Wakanda Forever." So it's like, yeah, those are the kind of people going to watch it. Like people who have heard of the character, but they don't know anything about it. They're just like, it's a new movie, and I heard that it has Aztecs in it. Let's go watch it because we're Mexican. So it's like, I don't know why people are doing that, but that's kind of the
Yeah,
type of audience they're attracting.
that's true. That's definitely
Mhm.
true. And then and people were saying that there is no MCU. Wake the fuck up, everyone. Disney doubled down on the woke, and you see it all, suckers, and still support it. MCU. Yeah, so
Mhm.
many of us already knew that. You called us the usual ist and similar names. Hate to say it, but we told you so. But who are we kidding? We told you so.
I mean, yeah.
Marvel is moving forward with phase 5. Completely agree. Black Panther Wakanda for Wakanda never. was the holy grail and the perfect finale for the MCU. The critical drinker said Wakanda Forever is Black Panther is the Black Panther of what Wonder Woman 1984 was to his predecessor. The first and last scene are poignant, raw, and heartfelt, but everything else in between is absolute incomprehensible garbage.
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
Yeah, that's true. John Q said literally 6 of these 8 characters suck. And then you're still a shield. I've sacrificed so much where to be where I'm at, and for people to speak ill on my character as if they know me without consequences is asinine. We move, squad. I love you all. Announcement on Friday. Oh, that's the real Soups, the boy with the big hands, shield ass motherfucker. Equality. Also, these versions of these characters exist in the comics, so all the MCU idiots can take a seat, maybe read for once. Bitch, you don't even read, because if you know that for a fact, alternate reality, this character literally killed Thor sales, killed Iron Man sales. Character's been around for 80 years, sexy. This is unappealing. This
Yeah,
character,
see, this is the type of shit that I knew that they were going to do because it's what they've been doing. It's like
yeah,
these characters like just came out in the comics like just a few years ago to
yeah.
justify putting them in the movie, and sure enough, these people fall for it. And they're like, well, it's actually in the comics. Yeah, 6 months before it debuted on screen. Sure,
It,
there's no
it,
coincidence.
exactly. This character barely shows up in the comic books. Yeah,
Mhm.
replacement for Natasha that barely shows up. Not even a sister. This character was created for the Young Avengers, and she's been obnoxious ever since she left that team. This character was created 15 years ago. Now all of a sudden we want to jump her to Black Panther. Character was created in the 80s. Was a good character, but after the late 90s, they stopped using her. So really, you really want to talk about read a comic book, read a comic book, know about these characters, and know that these characters really aren't that appealing to most people. The only character that's the most popular is She-Hulk, and you destroyed that character. But okay. I find it fun. I find it so funny after years of denying that Marvel Studios was turning into the MCU. All of a sudden, news outlets are admitting that that is exactly what's happening to the once great franchise. Yeah, that's crazy. Wakanda Forever is about Chadwick Boseman's the actor's passing, not T'Challa. Also, the continuance of the MCU agenda and Ironheart is unnecessary. That is definitely true. MCU confirmed. um the women of MCU phase 4. Congrats, Kevin, you did it. He did say he was going to increase. He was going to add in new female characters, and he sure did. What the?
Mhm.
Wait, hold on. What the hell is this? What is this? What is that? I don't even recognize this character.
Isn't that is that Meep?
I don't know.
The one
I don't,
from, Thor?
don't recognize
Yeah,
this character.
didn't Korg say that Meep actually, like, turned into a girl?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't recognize. This is the only character I do not recognize on this entire list.
I'm pretty sure it's Meep.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
almost 100% certain it's Meep.
Well, yeah, that was 2018. Marvel boss wants more females than male heroes in the MCU. Marvel's Kevin Feige is eager to have the leading women of Marvel take over the MCU. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, Kevin. You got that. But
You
what
did
did it
it.
cost? Everything.
Mhm.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Because the ending is literally him, Chris Hemsworth, with his own daughter. Yeah, that's Chris Hemsworth's daughter. If y'all didn't know that, the MCU is full on mode. Every Avenger seems to have a female version now. Marvel has said girl power quite literally. Oh, look,
was a woman.
hold on. I want to.
But I think having all 3 films where the major character that was introduced was a woman, it's it seems like it's a shift in the entire MCU. I hate the MCU slogan. I hate it. I hate it with every fiber of my being as a woman who wants to see strong female characters. And I also get annoyed when Marvel seems to underline that. And I'm just very upset about it. But I think having all three.
See, Dylan, she's even like, oh, I hate to
Yeah.
admit it.
I mean, that's where I was saying. It's like it was very obvious. We all knew that's where it was headed because that's what they kept telling us they were going to do. So I just, how they didn't see that coming, really?
First off, this bitch shouldn't have no ass. This one don't have no ass. This the only one with an ass. Like let's not kill ourselves, all right? Both asses were flat. They had to CGI that to make the ass come out. Cause come on now. Wakanda Forever is a disaster. Absolute MCU. This is the season finale of MCU. Total disaster. There were more male-led productions than female-led productions in Phase 4, which should tell you everything you need to know about MCU. 5 female lead, 4 mixed lead, and 6 mixed lead. Okay, let's see. All right, Black Widow, female-led. Eternals, male-led, check. Mixed lead, but technically it was the females because they said it was Cersei's story. So actually female lead, male lead. No, Doctor Strange wasn't the main character in his own movie. It was actually Wanda and American Chavez was the main characters in that one. So female led. It just used Doctor Strange as one. Female led, like female mixed led, female led. So and this one the first episode was about a female. Like, what the hell are you talking about? But okay. YouTuber explained Hugh Jackman's return from Deadpool doesn't matter because Marvel no longer has the writing chops for a good storytelling. Well, damn. Oh, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. And no one is watching it neither. That's true. A lot of people are not watching the MCU. That's what I said some stuff. Iron Man replacement in Black Panther 2 looks bad, but was the MCU always the plan back in 2018? Are we looking at 4 years of female only movies and series? I don't know. That's a good question.
I would say no. Considering that, yeah, in the comics that shit only lasted 4 years, you're probably looking at maybe 2 years of it that could pull off.
Yeah. Look, somebody said stop trying to make MCU happen. It's never going to happen. Disney disagrees. Hashtag MCU. There is no MCU. No, not at all. Why would anyone think that? That's just crazy talk. Like it is. It's so crazy. Yep. Grace admits that Marvel has gone full MCU. Yep. That's all I want to know. Let's Wakanda Forever just literally. What is this? Look, this person said Wakanda Forever is the Woman King sequel. Let's see what this person have to say.
So
Oh,
I just
yeah,
left
this girl
seeing
right here.
Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed.
Girl,
I am
please
pissed
be
because
pissed.
if Pushing an Agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids.
Courtney. I told y'all on my live stream numerous times, do not go see that trash movie. I knew it was going to be the sequel to Woman King. They gave y'all Woman King twice in 1 year.
Yep.
I told y'all. I tried to warn you. How you going to have a Black Panther movie without Black Panther? The MCU is running wild. Excuse me. The MCU is running wild. I told y'all. I told y'all. I warned you, but you didn't listen. I warned you.
He sure did. I mean, we all did, honestly. Like, it's getting crazy out here, Dylan. Like, people are waking up to it. I'm glad that normal people are starting to wake up to it, you know? Like everybody just like, no, we're good. We are good.
I think a lot of the people who defended a lot of this stuff, they finally started reading the comics that they claimed they were reading for so long, And then they realized what we were always saying was that, yeah, the stories in the comics are a lot better than these trash ass movies. So now they feel a little bit better about saying that now that, a few years have gone by.
Oh yeah. Now that that go, and actually that goes back to the where's that person at that we just saw? Hold on. What's she? Let me see. Cause this it was a girl
So
right
I
here.
just
This
left
girl right
seeing
here,
Wakanda.
Courtney Michelle. Hold on. Let me see if I can find her right quick so you can see. Because she also talked about I didn't mean to say Courtney Love. I meant to say Courtney Michelle. Courtney Michelle. Okay, this is Courtney. I am Courtney Michelle. Yes, this is the lady right here. Let's see. Wow, look at her. She got a lot. She got a lot going on. Angela Bassett asked, "What are you doing?" So Wakanda Forever star Angela Bassett objected to Queen Ramonda's twist. Oh yeah, they decided to kill Queen Ramonda off, Dylan, because that was smart. But this is the girl right here, and she's been getting so much blowback. And you know what's so crazy about it, Dylan, is that TikTok removed her video saying that they were saying that she was promoting hate speech. Ain't that crazy?
So
They was like, oh, she's promoting hate speech, so we got to censor her. Like, what the hell? But I'll let you listen to what she's saying.
I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and I'm pissed. I am pissed because if pushing an agenda was a movie, this would be in the forefront of that. This was Woman King on steroids. If you think that I'm gonna believe 100-pound black woman soaking wet is just an almighty warrior and can just body dudes like it's no tomorrow, come on. Like, instead of Wakanda, it should have been called Where Are the Men? Because they was not there, they were not present, and the ones that was there was weak. But all the women that was in the movie was just brolic, built, strong Hercules. What is this saying to us? Perpetuating the idea of the strong black woman and a subservient black effeminate man. I just think it's disgusting. I'm completely upset by the movie. And man, if this Kyrie Irving didn't teach me anything, it's when you put your life career in the hands of other people that don't look like you, then they can make you do whatever they want you to do. And this movie does not represent what African culture is. It doesn't represent what our culture needs to be. So now I'm good on Wakanda. Where all the men.
I mean, Ryan Coogler did it. This is Ryan Coogler's fault. Honestly, he got too close and stuff like that. And look, and this is her talking about her getting.
So yesterday I made a post about Wakanda Forever and how I thought that it perpetuated the idea of the strong, independent black woman and the feminization and the emasculation of black men. Posted it on TikTok. And this is what I got. I got a violation. Okay, they removed my video. Now, mind you, it was hitting about almost 100K, and then they removed it because of my opinion. I didn't attack anyone. I didn't make any kind of derogatory slurs. But because I gave my opinion on what I think is being propagated through the media time and time again of black people, I got a violation. If y'all don't see the silencing of people's opinion that's different and that not willing to go with the go along, get along gang. And I'm going to obviously appeal, but I was hot. Who am I discriminating against? I'm a black woman. I can talk about black people. I'm hot. I'm hot.
Stay one step ahead of the selling season.
Ain't that crazy, Dylan? She black, and then they censor her for talking. Like, ain't that the most craziest thing you ever heard? Like, they'd be like, oh, please listen to people of color. And then when people of color speak on something that go against the grain, oh, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I completely feel her pain on that because that's just how it is. Like if you're part of like a group that's they're trying to represent, and you try to talk out about how they're representing you, now all of a sudden you're the enemy, but somehow you're even worse than the enemy that they were talking about before. Because it's like, how dare you not support what we're trying to do for you? It's like, because you're not doing it for me, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, you're doing it to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
And that's the craziest thing too. And then this is the one where she debunks some stuff too.
We live in such a groupthink, hive mentality society that someone will make a comment and everyone will keep repeating it as if it's gospel without even thinking for themselves. So I'm going to debunk one of the comments that I've been getting about my video of Wakanda Forever. So it's read a Black Panther comic book and try again, or the infamous tell me you've never read the comic book without even telling me. So in the comic book, Black Panther was married to Storm and they had a child. However, this wasn't in the movie. And it was T'Challa that fought Namor, not Siri. So you mean to tell me that the movie actually did not follow the comic book and it deviated? No. So tell me you didn't read the comic book without telling me you didn't read the comic book.
She right. She got a point. She got a point. She got a point. They love throwing that line back at us, though. They love throwing that line back at us, Dylan, when you be like, how about read a comic book or whatever? And then they be like, oh, it happened in the comic books. You're right. It did happen in the comic books. But let me tell you the real reason why stuff like this happened. Just like the whole thing about Shuri. T'Challa had died, so Shuri took his place. No, T'Challa was comatose after fighting Dr. Doom, I believe. Yeah, he took a point blank range shot at from Dr. Doom, which put him in a coma. Then Shuri had to take over as Black Panther, and even then Shuri wasn't the Black Panther as in the main Black Panther, because T'Challa was recovering. He was still Black Panther, and when he returned as Black Panther, they both held the title as of Black Panther, but T'Challa was still the king of Wakanda at the time. But of course, nobody reads these comic books. You would know that if you read the comic books, but nobody wants to read the comic books at all. And then it's weird because Ryan Coogler decides to go off of the Ta-Nehisi Coates run of Black Panther instead of any of the legendary runs of Black Panther before 16. You know? Let's see what else everybody's saying. The movie did Jack Kirby, Bill Irvin's characters dirty. Shuri may not have been made by Kirby, but she became her own character after fans warmed up to her. Yeah. Trey, look at Robert Storm's recent Wakanda Forever video. Robert Storm. Let me see. Robert Storm. All right, let's see what Robert Storm have to say. G4 wanted to cancel Batman. Oh yeah, that was something crazy. Dylan, can you believe it? G4 asks you questions like that, like if you wanted to get hired by them. So why do you think Batman should be canceled? Like, what the fuck? No wonder G4 wasn't successful. You know? Who about
That's
to
weird.
Yeah, pretty much. So we need to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Which video are you trying to ask me to watch? Because I'm not about to watch all of this, motherfucker. Doing movies about ghettos, black stereotype, pain, trauma is what Ryan Coogler does. It's his MO. Yeah, it does not fit their narrative, pretty much. I have an interesting theory. I think in time TikTok will be the new Twitter cesspool. They already seem to implement similar tactics pretty much. Wakanda Forever is Woman King versus Avatar 2. Yeah. they're coping that the MCU exists, and they're coping. They're in denial that the MCU exists. To me, that sums up how you gonna have a Black Panther movie without having a Black Panther movie. Yeah, the female leads the Eternals from Ahox, Thena, and Cersei. That's what I'm saying. Like the movie focused on the female characters in that movie, and I didn't even have to watch it. I just knew they had already did it. It must be a shame to have Hemsworth and his family get bashed and scrutiny for their place in the current Marvel studio. They agreed to it, so that's on them. Let's see. Well, maybe if Disney stopped doing female characters dirty and make them uninteresting, yeah, that's true. Namor deserves better than Wakanda Forever. Holy shit, what the fuck am I dreaming? Grace Randolph amidst the MCU? Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, Evening, everyone. Oh, it's Meek. They said it's Meek. You was right, Dylan. That was Meek.
I
I
had a
don't
feeling. I was like the only reason why I had a feeling was because the little knives coming out of the hands. I was like, I think
I
that's
was just
me.
like, I don't think I remember this I don't remember this character, but okay. Like, that's why I was like, what the hell? Like it was 100%, like it's 100% audience and 90% critics, like the Shira reboot. Yeah, they did try to cover up the MCU. The MCU is a hard no for me. Um, Laugh my ass off. Captain Marvel 2.0. Wait, they locked the audience score? Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. So you can't even do that. Let's see the recent one about G4. I the G4 don't have anything to do with what we're talking about. This is like the Last Jedi all over again. Like it's been 5 years at this point, and it hasn't aged well, pretty much. Bill Irving is the creator of Namor. Yeah. The title of We Need to Talk About Black Panther 2. Let's see what he got to say. He bet if he talks stupid, I'm cutting him off. Yeah. If he better say something smart.
So I want to talk about this Wakanda Forever thing that's kind of been going around and kind of been blown up for a lot of different reasons. And I just kind of want to have a discussion on that. I'm not really going to go in with the comedy all that much or the clips or anything like that. This is
Let's
just going to be
see.
like a conversation. Well, like if I would be seeing you one on one, or we're around the water cooler at work, or we're just chilling on break, we're just having a conversation. So there's been a lot of controversy about this movie, and I didn't realize there was so much controversy surrounding this movie until this week. I literally thought pretty much everybody was excited for this movie.
That's a whole bold faced lie. Ain't no way in hell you could have thought that everybody was excited about this movie. Ain't no way you could have thought that with the way the MCU was going. Come on now, Dylan. Really? Really? I call BS. I call BS on that. I call straight BS on that. But okay, well, let's hear him. Let me hear him out. Let me hear him out.
Like this was a movie that me personally I've been looking forward to for a very very long time. You know,
Of course, you're white. Why wouldn't you be? No offense. I'm tired of a white person talking down to me and telling me how I'm supposed to feel about Black Panther, and I'm like, I'm black. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, I have every right to criticize how my people are being portrayed in this movie. Just like Dylan, you have every right to be upset of how they're portraying your people, because that's basically what they're doing. They're basically making a mockery out of black people and Latinos just for the hell of it, and they're not even doing it in a good way. I'm sorry, just okay. Let me hear what
like
this white
I
person got to
really
say.
was excited for this movie and see what they were going to do. And I felt like a lot of people were the same way. I felt like a lot of people were excited for this movie.
Uh-huh.
And then just out of nowhere, it seemed like there was this divide. Like Moses just split the Red Sea, and like you have half of the people that support the movie on one side, and then the other half not supporting the movie. And I think the part where I'm kind of confused because it doesn't even really feel like a divide. It feels like there's a three-way divide. And what I mean by that is there's people that support the movie and like the movie. Then there's people that don't support the movie. Then there's people that don't support the movie and don't like the movie. So it's like the people that don't support it is divided amongst themselves. Like there's people that literally do not like the movie and they don't support the movie. Then there's another group of people that do not like the movie and don't support it and all this stuff. So it's a real divide. It's a real divide here.
What? Dylan, did you understand what he said?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, what? That don't make no sense. But all right, I'm
I
trying to give
think
him a chance.
we need as a community, as a film going community, I think we need to allow other people to express their thoughts. And this is just me thinking.
I like what he's saying, but at the same time, everybody that is allowed to express their thoughts are the people who automatically likes the movie. I can't get behind people who cap at every movie that comes out is amazing. Every project or product is amazing. And then when people like me say, well, I don't think it was good. Are you sure? That's cap. I understand you're getting paid promotion to do it. So come on, like stop lying and then stop trying to shut people down who don't like it. You know what I mean, Dylan? Like we get
Mhm.
that all the time from people who like, oh, I like this stuff. But then when you say, well, I didn't like it, oh, you're such a istophobe and all of that. Whoa, hold on. How did it even jump to that? You know? Like, I don't know. I think that's the most weirdest thing ever.
Mhm.
We deserve better than Namor. We deserve Namor. Why is the drinker dubbed him Ocean Man? Yeah, that's what he did. Um See, this is why I'm against the idea of having white allies in the black community. These white allies are probably the most ignorant racists as soon as you go off script. That's true. That's true. When you do when a black person speak out, here come a white ally, quote unquote white ally for any minority that'll try to say like, oh, it might be internalized, racism that we have, or well, I don't really agree with what he's saying, but what he's trying to say, no, 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 no. I said what I said. I don't need you trying to tell me or trying to ally yourself with me just to shut me down. Like that's the most weirdest thing ever. Like you can be an ally if you want to, but don't shut me down when I'm in my feelings about it or when I express myself, you know?
Thinking outside my, and I'm fully aware I'm gonna have a group of people going, Rob, you're such a hypocrite. You go on here and you bash people all the time. That's true. But you also have to realize when I'm playing and really kind of like amping stuff up for the joke stuff, like the person you see on screen.
Why everybody when they do something like this, Dylan, they always want you to understand when they joking and when they not joking.
Yeah.
Like, no,
That's the thing that I don't understand.
that's not how this works. Your ass said something. If it wasn't funny, and if most people took it the wrong way, guess what? It wasn't funny. It wasn't a joke. You know?
Going twinkle toe cocksucking motherfucker, sweet and sour chicken ass, like that's not me outside of YouTube.
Yeah, yeah.
Rising onto Chadwick Boseman's death, and then there's another team. Like it's really like politics and religion at this point.
Uh-huh. What else you
I
got?
guarantee you, dollars to donuts, $1 million here, guys. In another timeline, if they would have recast it, or would have been the same amount of outrage. It's one of those things where the old saying is, "You damned if you do, you."
Okay. Let's look at that real quick.
Okay.
If there would have been the same amount of outrage. Okay, you mean like the same amount of outrage people had because I can't remember her name right now. The actress for Shuri didn't want to get vaccinated while they were shooting the movie, and people were literally wishing death on her. And now the movie came out, and a bunch of people were like, "Oh, Shuri, we love Shuri. She's the Black Panther and shit." Like y'all weren't wishing for her to die because she wouldn't get a shot. That's the same bullshit. So yeah, would people have been upset if they recast T'Challa? Yeah, and then they would have gotten over it as soon as the movie came out.
And I bet you the box office sales would have been better for it. The box office sales would have been better for it because that's how the original Black Panther got popular. Word of mouth. Word of mouth made it where it was like, oh, okay, well, people are saying it's good. I'm going back and see it. I'm gonna see this movie 3 times. I'm gonna see this movie 4 times because it was that good to people. It was a cultural movement that nobody could predict it would have happened. You know what I'm saying? But this not recasting the character, oh no, trust me, this did more harm to the Black Panther franchise in general because right now you go to stores that have Black Panther merchandise, it's sitting on the shelf. It's sitting on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing for the guys to really buy. Oh, well, they can buy Namor, they can buy Mubaku. Okay, that's great. Two males. Ooh, oh my God, pinch me. Compared to all of those female characters, you can get Nikita, you can get Okoye, you can get Oda, you can get Riri Williams, you can get Shuri, then you can get Shuri in the Black Panther form. That's almost six female character toys. Oh, and what's that girl name? Namorita, which makes absolutely no sense. So you can get Namorita and one random Aztec guy too. So there's 3 guys and there's 8 female action figures in the Black Panther Wakanda Forever franchise. And you wonder why they're sitting on the shelf? Okay, sure.
Honestly, the whole the blue people being representative of Aztecs, to me, it just kind of felt like they were ripping off Mortal Kombat because they already have that kind of shit, like with Kotal Khan and all that. Like, it's
Yeah.
basically like that same type of thing. That's where I'm like, really, it's not like as if it's anything y'all haven't seen before. It's like it didn't catch on because it's not an interesting look. Like, there's no point to it. They should have gone full on regular Atlanteans, like give us the regular Namor. And the other thing that I heard a lot of people saying was like, well, it doesn't really matter, right? Because like nobody really knows Namor, and like nobody cared about his design because like he just had like green swim trunks. I'm like, okay, that's how I know you don't know anything about the character. He hasn't worn that costume for decades now. He wears his black costume that's a full body suit with like actual like shoulder elements and shit. Like, that's his costume, and that would look dope as shit on live action. But people don't know that because they don't actually give a shit about the character. Instead, they just try to tell someone like me who does. Well, no one actually cares, right? Because nobody knows who he is. And it's like, yeah, I do. You're telling the person who knows about him how, and he's in the main Avengers book right now. Like, it's not like as if he's not anywhere where people wouldn't have known him. Like, they've been using the character pretty consistently over the years. So it's like,
I think the one thing that surprised me about Namor was the fact that he was in the X-Men. He was in the X-Men, the Uncanny X-Men, and Dark X-Men. And I'm like, this is the most I've seen Namor in recent years. Like, just the fact that like you said, they've been consistently using Namor. So it's kind of weird that people keep saying that he's not a popular character. And it's like, no. Scratch. No, we're not about to say he's not a popular character. He definitely is a popular character. You just don't know of him. Just like I had told my mom about like how black folks, y'all want to be like, they were like, oh, black people were so excited about Black Panther or whatever, stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, because y'all was ignorant to the fact that there were black superheroes in the world of Marvel and DC. Oh, they've been there for 60 years. It's just that none of y'all was smart enough to go and pick up a damn book and read it. So don't sit up here and try to tell me, come up in my little world of comic books, and try to tell me how I'm wrong about these characters or how I should just get over it or accept what it is. No, you're not about to sit up here and tell me that. You tell me that once you read 60 years of history, and you tell me, should I just throw away all these comic books that I've had of these characters and all of these characters? My bad for trying to learn about these characters as much as I can. My bad for buying the Marvel encyclopedia and the DC encyclopedia. Yes, I have the encyclopedias of DC and Marvel because I like them. I don't have the recent ones, but I do have a few encyclopedias of the characters. So yes, I do like these characters and I do like to read about them. So don't tell me that these characters aren't popular enough. Don't tell me how I don't know anything about these characters or I'm acting irrational about these changes or whatever. No,
Mm.
I've earned my right to be outraged to any of these dumb changes to these characters.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why like I feel like it's one of those things where they're shifting now from like trying to say that, well, we just don't know the character, to trying to say, well, those things aren't even really important about the character. Like I heard that with the Jim Gordon change where
Yeah,
it didn't matter. They changed, his race in the movie because like, well, he's just a mustache. Like nobody even cares about that character. It's like, again, you don't care about that
yeah,
character. A lot of people know. I mean, Jim Gordon was in the very first appearance of Batman. He was the first character you're introduced to besides Bruce Wayne. And they're going to try to act like as if, oh, well, nobody really gives a shit. You can do whatever you want with that character because he's not Batman. That's not how that works. Like, these characters are important for a reason. They're part of the whole world. Like, you can't just change things about them and say, well, it's still the same person. You might as well
exactly.
do the same thing with Batman. Like, it doesn't work that way.
That's what I keep trying to tell them. It just doesn't correlate. You can't expect characters who's been around for years who have a fan base, regardless of if the mainstream doesn't know it, if people who are just fans of the Marvel movies only know of it. People who've been reading these comic books or seen these characters for years are that fan base. You can't get mad that that fan base demands better. You can't get
Mm.
mad that I want to see Namor be Namor, or I want to see a better in shape person to play Shuri. If you're going to have Shuri as the Black Panther, you better sell it. You
Yep.
better sell it to me. And they didn't sell it to me. You know what I'm saying? So at least even if were going to kill T'Challa off, you better come up with a damn good reason why his ass is dead.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
they don't even want to do that. They don't even want to do that.
Because that's the thing. Like we're willing to accept a good story. The thing is, like, you need to respect the source material, respect who these characters are, and then if you want to make a radical change like that, like killing off a main character and replacing it with a backup character, then you need to write the right story that gives that character the right respect and also sets up this new character that shows us either they can grow into it or they're already ready to step into that role. Otherwise, you're just rushing it and it comes across as very forced and it
Mm-hmm.
makes for a bad story unless people are lying to themselves about it. And that's what we get a lot of now is just people lying to themselves and saying, "Oh no, I loved it because X, Y, or Z reason," but it's like none of the reasons have anything to do with the story. It's always
Mm-hmm.
something external.
Exactly. And that is always the problem. And it's always like, oh, we need to change it because we want to reflect the real world. No, 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 no. It's not the real world you're reflecting. You're reflecting fucking LA or New York City.
Yeah.
You're not reflecting the real world because Black people, Latino people, Asian people have been overrepresented to the point where it's not even goddamn funny. I have never seen a show have that many Black people, especially in an area where predominantly Black folks would not be at. And they're putting them in that kind of stuff. They're even doing it with historical drama pieces or events in history where the characters are now being changed from white to Black, and they're trying to say, "Oh, it doesn't really matter. It's the story or whatever." No, that character was not Black in those times. It just doesn't work. Like you can't just force people to just get over that.
Yeah.
That's not how we were trained as human. You know.
Yeah, especially when it's like we've grown up knowing these characters and all that. Like you can try and say whatever it is that we're trying to like perpetuate, white people being, the superior race or whatever the shit, or that they're the most visible type of person or whatever. That's who the character is. That's who we grew up with. Introduce new shit. Like y'all have characters like Renee Montoya, who's also been a part of the like Batman world for decades, and nobody ever wants to elevate her. Or if they do, they take her from just being a character that's kind of there to all of a sudden now she's police chief. Why? There was no build up to that. It was literally just she gets called into an office, now she's the police chief. Again, there was no build up to that. So it wasn't interesting because it was literally just handed to her and said, "Here, isn't that awesome? Now she's in the leadership position." It would have been if she had struggled to get to that point, thereby
Mm-hmm.
showing us that progression. But you just handing it to her, no, like that's a pointless promotion. If I were working under her, I'd be like, why did they give her that job since she's barely been around? I just it doesn't make sense to me when they try to do that and they really do pat themselves on the back like they did something good. It's like no, you took a shortcut because you knew you could, and nobody would be able to stop you, but that doesn't stop us from questioning you.
Mm-hmm. And they always be trying to get up, just sweep it on the rug and pretend like it's not there by trying to distract us with something else. And it's like, no, you're not going to distract me with nothing else. I see the BS. I honestly do. You know, um, I don't know. What is this person saying?
Damned if you don't. Regardless of what you do, you're going to piss somebody off. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, guys. So this movie being so
Oh, okay.
Recordings just got better.
Hold up,
David
StreamYard.
from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard. Have you ever done a
Okay.
the only difference is you had the main character who was Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa. I mean, take him out. I mean, they had to play. Okay, I'm about to talk real here, and I don't know how many people are gonna follow me. What happens if you're playing chess and one of your best pieces get taken off the board? You work with what
This
you
person
got.
said
Okay,
you have to
you don't
remember it.
recast your queen. You
I
don't
would say
recast your
for
bishop
the
or your
people
rook.
who didn't
If
like
your
it, you
rook,
have to remember
bishop, or
Chadwick
queen gets
Boseman
taken off
died
the
while
board,
filming,
it is no
and they
longer in
actually had
play.
to scrap the
You
whole
now
thing
have
and
to
start
work
from
with the
scratch.
pieces you
You had
have.
to rewrite
You
it
have to
and come
work
up
with
with a
your
whole new
pawns. You
plot to
have
be
to
respectful
work
to
with
Boseman
your other
and try to
pieces.
be as good as the
That's what
first
you
one.
have
Introduce
to
new
do.
characters,
Chadwick
a new
Boseman
lead to
was
carry the
taken
movie,
off
etc.
the
in a
board. They
short
had
time.
the
In the
ability
type
to
in
recast.
that type case,
They,
if I'm
as
going to
a
give a brother
studio, and
a
Ryan
break
Coogler,
and
as
commend
someone
him
who
for
is a
making a good
friend, and
movie
that's
under
the
no
thing.
conditions,
Ryan Coogler is a friend to
then
Chadwick, right?
we have
We're all
to
talking
do
about
so
what Ryan
little
Coogler should have done, and we
to
don't know
my
a
boy
goddamn thing about
Ryan
Chadwick. We
Coogler
never met the
came
motherfucker.
through.
We
Stop
never
being
met the
crab
man in our
dragging on
lives.
him,
This
uplifting the
dude was
brother.
a friend of Chadwick Boseman, and we're trying to tell him what he should do for his friend and what is disrespectful and not disrespectful. That's the thing. Ryan Coogler, as both a filmmaker, friend, and artist, did what he thought was best for his film and best.
And that's the problem. That's the problem right there, Dylan, is that Ryan Coogler was in such an emotional state that he was thinking about himself. He wasn't thinking about fans. Honestly, he wasn't thinking about Black Panther. He wasn't thinking about T'Challa. He was thinking about his emotional grievance with the character. And to me, that shows that you can't direct or you can't do the job when it comes to the hard things. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. And
Yeah.
and I hate when people were like, well, we're being insensitive because Ryan Coogler was friends with Chadwick. Okay, and what does that have to do with T'Challa, the character? His job was to pay um uh, his job was to make a movie, recast T'Challa, do a good service to the character, but at the end of the day, it was about Black Panther T'Challa. It shouldn't have not been about Chadwick Boseman at all. I understand he lost his life to cancer, but that we didn't know Chadwick. So honestly, with all due respect, I don't have enough emotion to care where it would have been disrespectful. It would have been disrespectful for me because I would have been like, okay, I understand he died. I understand that Chadwick died. So let's respect his legacy. Let's respect his work and continue this franchise. And if people and if there's actors or crew members who couldn't work with a new actor because they felt a betrayal, guess what? Exit to the left, to the left. I can get more people. Then if that's the case, you know. Let's
For
see
the
what else to say.
respect of Chadwick Boseman and Chadwick Boseman's family. And spoiler alert, they did recast T'Challa at the end of the movie.
Oh nope, we got another one trying to talk down to us. I don't have time for that bullshit. I have no patience for a white person speaking down to me about how I'm supposed to feel about some bullshit. No, because T'Challa Jr. is not a recast. I don't know why people keep trying to say that's a recast. No, that's not a recast. I don't know what the hell that is. That's not a recast at all. Let's see what else. What is the chat saying? Um, this is why I think minorities need to start thinking more as individual and less as a collective group. As at this point, I don't like when they start thinking as a collective and not individual. Yeah. Trey, what annoys me about Tristan is that she's lying to herself. What did she say this time, Roland Dodge? Because I don't know. That's what you kind of randomly said that. Agree, Anthony. They think that they have done it before and they can do it again after breaking themselves off the social justice mob. Lying is unfortunate in their nature, no matter how big nor small. This is the dumbest part of his argument, Trey. Yeah. And you saw I shut that shit off too.
Mhm.
When they say race don't matter, then why change things like the race anyway? And that's another thing, Roland Dodge. They always say that, and then if it becomes opposite on everyone, then everyone have a problem. I'm just saying. Did Robert and Ryan forget Chadwick Boseman brother wanted T'Challa to be recast? Yeah, no, they just chose not to. They just chose not to listen to him. That's all. It's so stupid. They act like as if there was no way to honor him if they recast the character. Exactly.
Yeah.
They made money off of this man's death, killed the story, the main character of the story, even if he was his friend. It's effed up that they shelved the character. And my thing is, Blue Wind, I bet you none of that money going to Chadwick's family and friends. Let's see what else you guys saying. I'm sorry. He doesn't do research. Um, and Marvel is at fault for going along with it. Brandon Lee's death was tragic, but the director and crew and the actors and the actress want the crow to be released in theaters. Yeah, they worked around it too. That's how you have to do it. You got to start doing it. You can't keep using your emotions as a reason why you can't do stuff, And here's
Yeah.
another one, Dylan, this is a crazy one. This is how like the MCU is like, is really here because we got this one right here. Um, the MCU fatigue is setting in with the MCU fans, according to a new study. Over 1/3 of the Marvel fans are feeling fatigued by the constant stream of content from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, according to the new study. No, you don't say.
Mhm.
Marvel fans are feeling fatigued by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A new study finds after various delays due to COVID pandemic, Phase 4 kicked off with WandaVision, the first MCU series on Disney Plus. And once it was safe to return to theaters, the Phase 4 film Black Widow was released. During the past 2 years, there has been a steady stream of both theatrical release shows on Disney Plus for the MCU. Phase 4 recently came to a close with the release of Black Panther. Where the Men at? I'm sorry. um, Now a new study conducted by a fandom by via Variety finds out that over 1/3 of Marvel fans are feeling fatigued by the MCU constant stream and theatrical releases and Disney content in 2022. The study also found that oversaturation is much as less of a problem for the DC universe, which sees a significant fewer theatrical and streaming release than the MCU. Only 20% of DC fans say that they feel fatigued by their respective franchise, as opposed to 36 of the Marvel's fans, which is kind of weird that even 20% of the DC fans say they feel fatigued because it's just like where, where, you know? DC's barely conducted anything. This intense study was conducted to survey over 5,000 entertainment gaming fans between 13 and 54-year-old. Okay, cool, whatever. Um, so Phase 4 is divisive, but it fixes the MCU's biggest Infinity Saga criticism. Why Marvel fatigue is starting to set in. Okay, all right. Um,
Hmm.
let's see. I mean, everybody knows it's just nothing but this bull crap right here. We're getting all of these movies. Most of them are female replacement films. The shows are lackluster. There's a reason why, and people are tired of not being able to see their heroes be heroes too. So I don't know. What do you think, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, it really is one of those things that it's just people are getting tired of seeing new characters that they don't know, and there is no time for them to get to know them, like the way that it was for all the rest, where it was like they had almost, 2 movies before they started, like, teaming up, and then you got to see them, working together as a team. So it was like you saw enough of the characters. Now it's like they introduce a character and it's like, okay, that person's getting a spin-off show that you'll probably never watch, and then these other people are going to be in part of another show that you'll never watch. It's like they're not giving people anything they think they are. They think they're giving people lots of opportunities to go and find out. But the thing was, the reason why it worked the first time was because it was all in a set schedule. It was like you had to watch one after the other, because that's just all there was at the time. When you give people like 4 new shows within the same 6 months, like they're not going to watch probably any of them, or at least 3 of them. So it's like they're kind of putting out too much, which you would think they would have learned from what they did with Star Wars, that maybe we need to scale back how much we're giving people, because they very quickly get overwhelmed with all the shit and they just won't go back and watch stuff because there's still newer stuff coming out on top of it. And that's kind of honestly where these people are at. I feel like a part of it is they really do see themes and shit like that, messages that are being put in there that are annoying. But I think it's also just just too much for people to keep up with. That's what I keep hearing a lot from people, is like
Yeah,
they just don't have the time to try and keep up with everything.
yeah. Ashura said that Ryan Kendall just did a video about Disney's Wakanda Forever chicken wet dish. Oh yeah, Disney is celebrating Wakanda Forever by making Wakanda themed food, which is basically soul food, just jazzed up to look like, oh look, it's from Wakanda. Everybody was like, really? That's what you thought? Oh, okay. 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 Fried
Jeez.
chicken. Look, they got a purple drink, and they serve it with chicken next to it too. Dylan, I'm like, yep, that's not stereotype at all.
Ouch. God.
Oh, I was like, boy, y'all are so racist. Okay, so there is like one more topic, and then we'll just close it out after this one. This one is about a former executive talking about how the MCU has ruined everything. So here we go. Former TV executive Paul Shadows declared the MCU kind of ruined things. The former head of CB television opted that the Marvel Cinematic Universe kind of ruined things. Look at that. No titties. No titties. Don't even look like a goddamn woman. Don't just look like a goddamn boy. A boy in drag, a lady boy. That's exactly what she looked like. Um Chato's comments came during the appearance on Midnight's Edge in the morning, episode 326. While discussing numerous Disney Plus Marvel Studio produced shows, guest Chris Gore approaches the topics. Disney isn't even good at making TV yet. They're not good at making TV. You look at Netflix and HBO know how to do television. They know they know that look, we are thinking about the audience every single minute, not the agenda, the audience. Let's see. The show is hosted by Tom Connor's reply to Gore, which is effed up because you have ABC, right? Really, Disney Plus should have technically been called ABC Plus. Let's be real. And then on the other side, you have Disney Channel. They basically changed cable, but yet for some reason they've done nothing but stumble in its streaming business. And it seems that it's no brainer. We could sit here and come up with 5 shows right now that would bring everybody to the platform, whether it's Darth Vader's show, a Spider-Man show, what have you. Yet they seem to avoid these things. They give us a Winter Soldier show now. Yeah, they right. Chateaus interjects that I think in many ways MCU kind of ruined things in the comic books. Have traditionally had their own arc, often based on a writer. So you would get the Dan Slott right of She-Hulk, which is kind of what they screwed up. Yeah, which is crazy how they screwed that one up. But then you got the John Byrne She-Hulk. There's nothing stopping any of these companies just to go like, okay, we're going to do the Dan Slott thing, the John Byrne thing, the Galactus Fantastic Four, and has a beginning, middle, and end, and its own cast, and then you get a new cast for the new set, exactly like they do in the comics, where they find new artists, new writers, and you get a new experience. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, never mind. Hold on. The MCU kind of blew that up because they took segments of contingency comic book series and pulled stuff from it and from all of them and then ruined those series. So you can't even go back to those series and pull ideas from to make a conscious arc from that edition. The MCU poisoned the well as many ways after Chris Gore suggests the MCU tell a separate contained story in the past, which sounds familiar to what they did in Captain Marvel and X-Men First Class. Chato stated that I think so. Just forget about it. I completely agree with you. I think that they're taking the superhero stuff and their MCU stuff way too serious. While there's some truth in what Chato's saying, regardless of the MCU pulling various elements from past comic book art, they used to tell a compelling long form narrative involving the Infinity Stones that eventually came to head in Infinity War and finished up in Endgame. The complaints about the MCU were minimum, and Avengers ranked 2.8 billion worldwide, and with at the worldwide box office with the 853 0.3 coming from domestic audience. Yeah, but you never see that domestic audience gross for anything recently in the MCU, though. That's the problem. The real issue is the MCU isn't that it took different elements. The issue is one of quality. Now, there has been some poor Marvel Studio films. One has to look at Thor Dark World, but then you can really look at good films like Captain America Winter Soldier. And however, in a post-Endgame world, it's hard to identify a film that even range of Captain America Winter Soldier. Instead, most of the Marvel Studio films offering closer or even worse than Thor Dark World. The television fare has been abysmal and appears to be more interested in pushing Pacific woke narratives and worldview than to tell a story about heroism. Yeah, if you decide to go that path, Chadwick suggested, bring in new creative and tell stories about superheroes, you can still have that issue. One only needs to look at the Matt Reeves Batman, which does indeed go down its own path. Introduce a brand new cast with Robert and Zoe as Catwoman and Batman. The film is not connected to the DCU, and the film falls apart in its third act. Is revealed that Batman didn't actually solve Riddle's main riddle. He doesn't capture the riddle, and he's only learning about the flooding of the city upon interrogating the villain after he turned himself in. In fact, Batman doesn't even save Gotham at all, and Batman only folds a single part of the plan, killing the newly elected mayor. Wait, hold on, what the fuck? I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't see the Batman endings. I mean, I didn't see the Batman movie, so I'm just kind of shocked about that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, so what? So what do you think, Dylan, about what was said with that one?
Yeah, I mean,
What,
I think it definitely ruined a lot of things. Just in general, they destroyed the what they were doing to begin with, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
yeah, I believe so too. We've gotten MCU fatigue. I think they got too big for their bridges. They thought that they can do whatever they wanted to, and they thought they can push a certain narrative. Like they said, Kevin Feige did say that Phase 4 was going to be focused on a lot of minorities and females. And look what they did. They changed everything around. You got black women, you got Asian women, you got Latin women in leading roles in these movies, and they're replacing most of the men with females. And I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking about. Like, I don't know how they thought that this was gonna turn out to be a great idea at all. I don't know. because it failed in the comic books. So that's why it's weird to bring something that failed in the comic books to live action and think like, yeah, let's do it. You know? Oh, and Amazon just announced that they're doing a Silk show for the Sony Spider-Verse franchise, and I'm like, nobody gives a damn about her ass.
Yeah, that one's again just a really random choice because it's a character that people don't know
Don't
or
like.
really care about.
Yeah,
Like
most
it's just
people don't
why.
like her. And you already know why they selected her. She female. She female. She is definitely female. And then they said that Andrew Garfield has signed on for a new Spider-Man 3 movie, which hopefully we'll get to see a Spider-Man in the Spider-Man Sony verse. I would love to see it, but you know, hey, it is what it is. I rather dismembered Silk. Damn. That's crazy. Well, you know, hey, but hey, it's definitely the it's definitely the MCU though, Dylan. I mean, I think we all proved our point, you know. Oh yeah, and Jenny Ortega, the girl who's playing Wednesday in Netflix show. Oh yeah, she's been cast as White Tiger too, Dylan. Because that's what I want. Another less than 100-pound woman trying to kick my ass.
Wait, what are they gonna have White Tiger come out in?
I don't know yet. They haven't. They just said she's been cast as White Tiger.
That's see, okay, like that they've had some really random castings before, but I mean at least they tell you like what the hell they're going to be attached to just cast an actress for a part and then not even tell you like what the hell it's for. That's a very different decision there.
Yeah, and then it's just like, oh, you're gonna cast another skinny bitch to be a superhero that's not sexy, that's not appealing, that has no physical prowess or physique about herself. It's weird, but they make sure that they'll cast a guy that where we'll have to get in shape for the role.
That's
Yep.
a really weird choice.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, Jenny Ortega. I'll show you what Jenny Ortega looked like. I thought everybody knew what she looked like since she's doing that stupid what's that other thing called Wednesday? Hold on, I think I spelled her name. Here she is. There she is. Y'all tell me if she's strong enough for that. Hold on, I want to get a full body of her behind. Oh, look, see there she is being Wednesday. Yay, look, there she is being Wednesday. Speaking with Boopy, the scary and Boopy, the Addams family.
How old is she?
I believe they said that she is 20. And this is her full body. That's her.
So I mean, if she's 20, I guess they're going for like a younger type of thing for I'm assuming that she's going to be part of a team. If they're not going to say like what the hell it is, it's probably a part of a team.
Well, I will say at least she got some kind of titties. And at least she got something. She gonna need to work on the squats so she can uplift the booty. Put a little bit if she works on her arms a little bit, she can definitely get a little bit arms naturally without having to stress that out. But you know, other than that, I mean, okay, all right, but you gonna have to be sexy. I'm just being honest. If you gonna play this character, I expect you to be sexy. Don't play with me. Like, I'm about getting tired of these skinny bitches with no bodies trying to play these superheroes. You know what I mean, Dylan? Roland Dodge said skinny. Yeah, she's kind of skinny. She is definitely skinny, but she ain't nothing like Letitia Wright. And Letitia Wright looking like a goddamn a little 12-year-old boy. Every time I see her, I be like, God dang, that a boy? And then people was trying to like get mad because I didn't like because I said that even though I know it's her, I said, man, if you didn't know any better, with her hair off her head, she looked like a straight up dude. And then people were like, oh, you're just jealous of her. Jealous of what? Because she became an actress and she's bald? Like, oh, okay, my bad. My bad. My bad for thinking that was a boy. Because, they always trying to do this. Oh, I'm female, but let me shave all my hair off just to show how empowering I am. You know what I'm saying, Dylan? Like you've seen some of the recent red carpet pictures of her, of Letitia Wright, right?
I don't think so.
Well, hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you what she be looking like on the red carpet, then, so you can see. So you can see what the hell I'm talking about, then. Okay. See, look at that. Look at that. Girl, if you don't stop, I didn't even realize that you was a girl for a second. I mean, Dylan, look at her. She look like, look at that. And then she wears a suit. And she already ain't got no body. You know she not wearing no bra because she ain't got no titties. Like, what is this? Like, look at this. Look like a straight up dude. No, I rebuke this. And look, put on a dress. Look at that. No arms. No arms. She didn't even train for the movie. Look at that. Look at that. Still, see, don't look like a boy in a dress, Dylan. Don't look like a boy in a dress. Come on. You know that look like a boy in a dress. Exactly. Can we get some normal built people, please? These actresses are so tiny. I know. Makes me want to hurl. God damn it. They done made it want to hurl. Like these women I see in public aren't all that small like these actresses. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. But hey, I mean, it's all MCU, right, Dylan? MCU, baby. Power. Yeah. But I think this will wrap it up though, Dylan. I think that was everything I wanted to talk about. Unless you got anything you want to add to anything. But I think we covered everything for today.
Yeah, I don't think that there's much of anything that I've got going. Oh, I guess the only thing that I can push is gonna be this. Hold up, y'all. Since we're at the end of the show, y'all go ahead and check this out. Project that I'm working on with some of my other guys. If y'all been watching for a little bit, y'all know that I'm also on another channel called Comics Way. That's 3 channels that I'm on in total. I have my own, The Raging Rainbow, which is right here. I'm on this one, very obviously. And then the third one, Comics Way, dealing with just this zine that we've got going on. As a matter of fact, here, I'll share it just so people can look at it while we're
Hold on, let me. I'll share so that way you can share it.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
So
you go.
like we got this going on, y'all. As you can see, this is a collaboration. We have over 8 artists and writers that are all just putting their stories into this. As you can see, $15. If you go to the website that I put into the chat, make sure to check this out. You can kind of go through. As you can see, we've got stuff going on. We got shirts, hoodie. We have sketch cards. You can pick which artist you want to do this. I will mention one of the artists we have on here. All of these are $50. One of the artists we have on here is actually working with Wesley Snipes on his book. I don't know if y'all have heard about it. It's called a book. It's called Exiled. It's on Kickstarter right now. Really cool stuff. That artist, he's working with us on this, and he has a story in our book. So that's pretty cool because, like I said, he's working with Wesley Snipes. So
Ooh,
go and check this out. If you can see here, when you roll over some of these stories, you can see a little bit of like a sneak peek of the art inside. So we got, Puto versus Puto. This is, if y'all have heard of Spy versus Spy, this is kind of that type of thing. It's a little more, adult oriented, but it's going to be a lot of fun. As you can see, the art very much inspired by old Super Mario Brothers, like comics and stuff like that. That's the type of thing we're going for there. This one, Suyu, this is about an urban legend from Bolivia about, if you want success, then you have to kill someone, bury them under a building. And that's exactly what we see here. So, really cool, interesting story. This is that one I was talking about from the artist. His name is Esquivo. The art is incredible, as you can see here. This is just a sketch that he did. We don't have any preview art for y'all yet on this one, but as you can see from the sketch art, pretty cool. This is the character. It's supposed to
Nice.
be like nautical horror type of thing, so underwater horror, kind of like, I guess, almost like BioShock, if y'all know that type of thing. So that's going to be a cool story. This one, Fuck This Party, a one-page story that, as you can see, is based off of these characters showing up to a party to find out, is this hyped up party worth it, or should we just try and crash it and leave, before we're thrown out. This one for y'all that I know y'all love manga and anime and stuff like that. I know because y'all are always trying to get me into it. So this is probably going to be right up your alley. Go Go Zombie Soldier Sturban. Kind of inspired the guy who was working on this. He's very much inspired by Common Rider. So this is going to be set in a post-apocalyptic future, and the mysterious dark hero here will go around helping people as he tries to discover where it is he came from, how did he get his powers, and what does it mean for the rest of his life going forward. Going to be a very cool story. I'm not even going to lie. I'm really looking forward to that one. Battle Kiwi. This is about a dog. Y'all have seen the movie John Wick, right?
Yep.
Now take it in reverse. What if the man went missing and the dog decided to go and fight the criminal underworld to get answers? That's exactly what Battle Kiwi is about. As you can see, the
Yeah, no.
dog's on top of the dead pile here. Yeah, that's the whole thing. He's going to track down, because he is not only an assassin dog, he also has a whole bunch of weapons that are going to be really cool. He has a little minigun in his backpack, y'all. So it's going to be a really fun story on that one. This one, Purgatory. Does anyone remember the Van Helsing movie, the one with
Hugh
Wolverine in
Jackman?
it? Yes,
Oh, I
that
love that
movie.
movie.
That's a good movie. Our friend that you sometimes see in the chat here, B Rose, this is
Yeah.
actually his story. He loved that movie just like I did, and he always wanted a sequel to it, but unfortunately they never made one. So he decided to write one, and it's going to be about Gabriel Van Helsing fighting a werewolf. And that's pretty much the crux of it. I've seen the art to this, y'all. Incredible. Like, it's going to be a really fun story. And then Hell Bitches. So there's not really much to tell you on this one, as you can see from that. Yeah, this is basically, the writer on this was inspired by B movies, like horror movies, where the dialogue is just terrible, the acting is terrible, everything like that is terrible. But for whatever reason, the story is just so weird. You want to watch it. That's exactly what happens here. Satan has his sin stones stolen from him, and to track them down, he sends out his hell bitches to figure out what happened to them and what's going on. So you can see a little bit of what's going on there. And then we also have this one, the Apocalypse. There, like I said, y'all, there are so many stories in this that y'all are going to love. It's a great time. You may be wondering, well, what am I doing on this, right? I don't draw, I don't write. So what did I do in this? Well, I don't write, not yet. I'm going to have I'm going to have a story in a future issue, but I'm actually doing an interview with the guy who did the cover art and who also has this story, Fuck This Party. I'm going to be interviewing him. He's our featured guest artist, something we're going to be doing regularly, featuring artists in this to kind of bring them to y'all's attention. So I need y'all to check this out. I will drop the link to it, or the website to it again, in the chat. Just go, do me the favor, go and check it out if you can. If you cannot, purchase a copy yourself, then just share it with your friends, share it with your family, whoever you can. Tell them about it. It's only $15, but if you spend $50 or more, you get free shipping. So that kind of inspires you to buy the book and a shirt, and you get the shit shipped to you for free. Check it out, because like I said, I'm doing an interview. I also kind of helped out with the editing. So, this is something that I'm actually very excited for. So if you can, go and check it out. The goal is make this a quarterly thing. So 4 issues a year. If we can, we might even start giving y'all more issues a year, but we want to get to that first, and we'll build up to it. So do me a favor, check it out. If you can, go ahead and buy an issue. If you can't, like I said, share it with whoever you can, wherever you can, and I would truly appreciate it. All right, that's the end of the sales pitch.
Hey, you heard Dylan. But yeah, that was really it. That was really fun. We went almost 3 hours, and we got. I think we got all the topics down, and it
I
was
think we
fun.
did.
Yeah,
We did good.
but yeah, Dylan, drink us out.
That's what I'm about to do. I was not even prepared. Let me pour this for y'all. And again, y'all, I hope y'all have had a great week. Mine was beyond stressful. This was a very long week for y'all, or for me. So I'm very glad to have gotten to hang out with y'all. This is one of those things that I look forward to every week, getting to sit and talk about comics and all the other shit that we see wrong in comics. So
Exactly.
cheers, everybody.
And thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you guys next week. Whenever there's some bull crap, know that me and Dylan will tell you about it because
We're always
it's
watching.
fun. But thank you for watching, guys. Everyone have a great night or great day, depending on where you're at in the world, because you never know.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everyone. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, Lord, look at me. I don't know. It's loading. It's not loading. Okay, hold
It
on.
always falls apart.